At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
That's Lynnell Willingham. He's the youngest in charge. I'm merely Josh Graham. And Lynnell, the NBA is the one sport where the month that follows the championship trophy being handed out is arguably as interesting as when the games are happening. Because not only do you have free agency almost upon us here, July 1st, happening almost right after the season ends. But the NBA draft is less than a week away. And with that in mind, there is one team in the NBA that nobody seems to be able to figure out right now, and that is the Utah Jazz. Heading into the draft, nobody knows what they're going to do. And let's actually start with the number one pick that belongs to your Washington Wizards, Lynnell. It's pretty obvious that Jazz owner Ryan Smith and the CFO Danny Ainge have personal ties to AJ Dybantsa and probably made some offers to try to get that number one pick. Does it tip off to you that if the Wizards aren't willing to move off of the pick, that means they're taking AJ Dybantsa?
There is no scenario in which they leave next Tuesday without Dybantsa. I just don't see it. They're playing things close to the vest. This is the reputation that this new front office in D.C. has built. Talking about Mike Winger, Travis Schlenk, Will Dawkins. Things have kind of come out of nowhere with this group, including the Trae Young trade, the Anthony Davis trade. There was no prior rumors of those two deals happening. And then wham, it happened. So this is who they want to be, but make no mistake about it. After working both of those two dudes out, Darren Peterson twice, and Dybantsa just once, I believe. I believe Dybantsa's the pick for them. He's the best player in this draft. I think he fits what the Wizards have already. And I know some people may say, well, you don't draft that way, Lynnell. You draft for the future. Well, you have a 27-year-old Trae Young that is in the heart of his prime. And I think if he's able to stay healthy, your point guard position is solidified. I look at DP as a point guard at the NBA level. Don't like the fit with Washington based off of what they already have there. Therefore, I'd go Dybantsa. And he's the better player to me by a close margin to me.
Yeah, don't care about fit at all. Just pick the best player. AJ Dybantsa is that, to go with AJ Dybantsa. Assuming AJ's gone at number 1, nobody seems to know who Utah's going to take at number 2. It very well could be Duke's Cameron Boozer, whose stock has been on the rise more than any player, it seems, since the Combine wrapped up a few weeks ago. And considering Darren Peterson won't work out with the Jazz, that is only adding to the speculation Utah could go with Boozer. Lynnell?
I don't make much of Peterson not working out with other teams because I know he met with a handful of teams at the Combine and was able to have one-on-one interactions with those organizations at that point, including Utah. So I don't look at this as him saying, hey, I'm not going to Utah. I refuse to play there. But from the Jazz's perspective, I think this is a very simple decision. Maybe the Jazz can learn something from the Washington Wizards. Who are the Wizards pondering between? Who were they pondering between for the first pick? Darren Peterson and AJ Dybantsa. Cameron Boozer was not a part of – they evaluated him, they scouted him because they're going to do their due diligence. But when it comes down to it, he was never realistically in the conversation for the number 1 pick. Why? Not because of poor fit with Washington, but because of the fact that Darren Peterson is clearly head and shoulders a better basketball player, always has been a better basketball player than one Cameron Boozer. And when it comes to his game at the next level, I think he projects and has a much higher ceiling. Not to say that Cameron Boozer isn't going to be a good pro. I think the guy that clearly has the higher upside, though, is Darren Peterson. And if you're Utah, it would damn near – and look, Danny Ainge is a fine executive, right? He's done it for a long time. It would be a damn near fireable offense to me to go Boozer over Peterson with the number 2 pick.
Not a lot of separation between the top 4 guys. So it's not a fireable offense by any means to take any of these 4 is my position. But we'll pose the question, who do you select between Darren Peterson and Cameron Boozer? 310-840-4910 if you want in. Because here's the case for Boozer, and there are 2 things you said. One is true, the second I don't think is. Does Cam Boozer have a higher ceiling than AJ Dybantsa or than Darren Peterson? No. Won't say that. I think Darren Peterson might have the highest ceiling in the draft. But don't say Darren Peterson's always been a better basketball player than Cameron Boozer, because Cam Boozer was the best player in college basketball this past year and one of the best National Player of the Year winners we've seen in recent memory. You can't say he's always been a better basketball player when Cam Boozer was the best player in the country last year. And also, by the way, his final 2 years of high school, he won Mr. USA basketball back-to-back years. The last player to do that was some guy named LeBron James. So you could do the thing.
You think he's going to be LeBron James?
You won't get pushback. You won't. No.
He's got LeBron
you won't get
James
pushback.
ceiling?
No, you won't get pushback in saying that Darren Peterson has a higher ceiling than Cam Boozer. But don't say that Darren Peterson's been a better basketball player. Always has been than Cam Boozer.
I think he's always been the more skilled guy. Like, in terms of skill, he may have more accolades. He may be more decorated as a high schooler. But when it comes down to looking at who's the more talented basketball player relative to the position that they play, I think Darren Peterson is just the better talent to me.
But it's not. But here's the thing. It's not always just about talent. It's about what you – there's a reason why Drew Brees is a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson. Is Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, do they have the best skill set, talent set in history? No. Peyton Manning always threw an ugly ball, and Tom Brady, he had a dad bod pretty much his entire career. If we make it about basketball, you're going to tell me that Jalen Brunson had the best skill set, best set of traits? No. But sometimes we overthink this thing. The draft, in essence, could be, hey, who is the best player in basketball that I have available to me? Well, let's just get as many of the really, really good basketball players on the team together. And Cameron Boozer, his entire life, has been the best basketball player at whatever level he played, whether it was high school, whether it was college. All the dude does is win basketball games. And And going back to the beginning of our conversation, fit shouldn't be a consideration. Utah, whatever they do. And with Danny Ainge, the last time Danny Ainge had a pick this high up in the draft, picking in the top 3, it was when he was with the Boston Celtics, and of course moved back from number 1 to number 3, and he took some heat in the Boston media because they had Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown on the team already, and he decided to take another wing from Duke, in that case Jason Tatum. Obviously it turned out to be right to take Jason Tatum. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if Danny Ainge decided, yeah, just give me the best player in college basketball. Let's go with Cameron Boozer. Because the guy, his measurables are good, 6'10", 7-foot wingspan. What is your major issue with him?
How he projects to the next level and how he was able to get his offense in college. You're not going to be able to play bully ball at the NBA level. And I think when it comes to tremendous passer, so is Darren Peterson, though. Like I don't look at Cameron Boozer as a guy.
6'10",
I don't look at a guy.
Wingspan.
And Cameron Boozer can't dribble the basketball and beat guys off the bounce the way that Darren Peterson is. Mm-hmm. I think that Darren Peterson is instant offense and makes everybody around him better by way of collapsing defenses at an effortless rate. Like
here's the difference.
What he does.
Hold one sec. This is a good debate in talking about why you like one guy versus another. My argument simply is, at the top of the draft, we can have this conversation with the top 4 prospects. There's only one of us saying that if you disagree with this stance, that you should be fired. And I don't. I'm not saying that because I think it's disrespectful to Cam Boozer.
And you can take it that way, and Cameron Boozer can take it that way. I think there is a significant gap between the ceiling of Boozer and Darren Peterson. And when you are in the draft, you are drafting the dude that's got the highest upside, the dude who projects to be the best guy. Because if that wasn't the case, why is Axel Lindenborg not in the top 4 conversation? Because of the way he projects, his age, where he already is with his skill.
Of course.
Darren Peterson is a moldable piece of clay, and it's got, to me, all NBA upside. I don't believe that about Cameron Boozer.
Not saying that you do this across the entire draft, just looking specifically at the top 4 where everybody is the same age. Like Axel Lindenborg is what, 22? That's obviously a different conversation. 22, 23, that's a different conversation than talking about everybody being the same age. I think there are slight differentiations here. I think it's slight differences, and this is the reason we have this conversation is so that people aren't shocked if Utah does take Cam Boozer, because
I would personally be stunned.
In fact, I think that's what they do.
I would.
I think they do it.
It would stun me. It would stun me, and I feel like it would maybe stun the rest of the basketball world too.
I don't think so.
I'm curious
I just saw Kevin O'Connor mock it from the Ringer yesterday, and many others are
following
fifth
mock of the process. Like, I mean, that's just what happens when you continuously do the exercise. You go with different scenarios. I don't know. To me, I think if they were to select Boozer over Peterson, it would say a lot to me about how the off-the-court stuff went with Darren Peterson. Because if it's just a basketball conversation between Peterson and Cameron Boozer, if it's just about basketball and who's the better talent.
Didn't bring anything up about him off the court. I just made the case for you.
That's a part of the evaluation.
Boozer.
It's the draft. It's part of the evaluation. That's what the draft is. Everything is put under the microscope. If it's just about basketball, though, I think Peterson's clearly the better talent. Now, this is not me saying that I don't think Cameron Boozer can't be a fine NBA player. I don't look at him as a guy that can be the best player on a championship team. And if I'm taking you number 2 overall, there is a certain gravity you should have on the offensive end. What is Cameron Boozer's superpower?
His passing ability at 6'10". Like, Nikola Jokic might be the best player in the league because he has that ability. Not many people his size can pass the ball like Cam Boozer can. That's his ability.
You think that skill set alone, that skill alone rather is worth the number 2 pick? I have questions about the jump shot.
And also leading college basketball in scoring.
Great.
It's a good combination.
He led college basketball and scoring, but I don't think any
At Duke,
evaluator,
the most difficult schedule in the country.
That's fine. He did that, but I don't think any talent evaluator is evaluating him as a scorer at the next level. Like, that's not the trait that you look at Cameron Boozer and go, yeah, he's going to be a great scorer at the next level. Like, I think there's major questions about that because of his inability to put the ball on the floor at 6'10". He doesn't have some prolific back to the basket post game. He doesn't. He was playing bully ball. Like, I don't see that working at the next level because I don't know if he's got the post game for one to be able to play that style of basketball. And then we know, and I'm not trying to like dunk on the kid. Like, I want to continue to say, like, I think he's going to be a really good player. I don't think he's a number one, though, and I'm not drafting that at number 2. That kind of got very numerical for a second. But you pick up what I'm putting down with that.
Yeah, the Jazz, they might be the most fascinating team in the league when you, going into the draft, when you put that piece together along with difficulty extending folks. Walker Kessler turning down a $140 million deal, even though he hasn't made an all-star game. Keontae George, apparently, it's doubtful that he will. Utah and him will reach a rookie extension. So a lot of questions, fair to say, about the Utah Jazz, which is why we're asking the question. If it's Utah with the pick at number 2, who do you select between Darren Peterson from Kansas, Cameron Boozer from Duke? 310-840-4910 if you want in. We heard from multiple members of the 2024 NFL QB draft class, all of whom have quite a bit at stake coming up this NFL season. You'll hear from them and we'll react next on Westwood One Sports Night. International soccer is taking over in the U.S. and only DraftKings has you fully covered. The DraftKings Sports app now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love, all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code Westwood, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code Westwood. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-MY. Text HOPE-MY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus. Void in Ontario. Event contact trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in prediction dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawal reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Baker Mayfield is looking for a new contract before training camp. Will the Buccaneers get a deal done with a franchise QB or risk a distraction hovering over Tampa Bay all season? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
So, we're asking about the NFL part in the NBA draft next week. Who goes at number 2? Is it Darren Peterson or is it Cam Boozer, assuming that AJ Dybantsa goes number 1? 310-840-4910. That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. Let's go back to the players that were selected number 1 and number 2 in the NFL draft a couple of years back. The 2024 QB draft class, it's kind of crazy how quickly these guys have taken off, or at least a handful of them have. Lynnell, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 quarterbacks from that class 2 years ago have won playoff games, which is insane to think about. Let's focus on the guys who were taken number 1 and number 2, though. Caleb Williams, he had a comment about Micah Parsons that drew some headlines this week. Here's how that sounded.
Think of the Micah Parsons thing. NFL top 100 Just funny. Obviously, it's good jokes. Obviously, we're football players on
Joke.
opposite teams, so it's a little rivalry. But nothing taken to heart and things like that. He said he's fire and I'm ice, so see which one holds over.
Also, I think Cam said that you were the best player in football.
Yeah. It's cool.
Would you ever vote
Nothing
for
else about
Packers?
that.
Would you ever vote for Packers as the best player?
Probably not, but that's on my side of how I do things. But obviously he's a phenomenal player. You worry about him every single snap.
So the thing that's been left up for interpretation was Micah Parsons being facetious when he said Caleb was the best player in the National Football League.
Vice versa, when Caleb said that about Micah, right?
No. Micah said this right. That was the response to it, correct. Micah said this about Caleb, and Caleb was asked, what you think of Micah saying that? And he said, yeah, it's cool. Almost as if he thought he was saying it tongue-in-cheek. I think
Probably was.
That rivalry, to me, has real juice and real legs to it. But I think more importantly,
Oh, the LaFleur, Ben Johnson stuff?
the LaFleur,
Very
Ben
real.
Johnson, it goes back decades. I mean, but
100 years.
when it comes to this 2024 class and where we're at now with all these guys going into year 3, I just remember what the conversation was leaving night 1 of the 2024 draft. It was a record amount of quarterbacks selected in that first round. And as we get ready for year 3, doesn't it feel like all of the conversation is on Caleb Williams and Drake May? And maybe it's the Washington blood in me. But damn it, America, don't forget about Jaden Daniels, people.
Well, hold one sec. I don't know who out there is talking about Drake May because everybody's talking about their coach. Like, I think the reason why people aren't talking about Drake is because Mike Vrabel has absorbed all the oxygen out of the room in that conversation. So, strangely, you would think more people would talk about him considering he was a vote away from being an MVP, but not so much. And honestly, if you want to talk about disrespect, we'll get to Jaden because we heard from him too. But the Chicago Bears won the NFC North, and they have the 3rd best odds, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings, to win the NFC North this year, behind the Lions and the Packers.
Yeah, that is disrespect. I've been pretty adamant about what I think is going to happen to Detroit this year. This feels like their last dance and their swan song. They've got a bunch of injuries going into the summer. But you're right. I think there is a disrespect for not only the Bears, but Caleb Williams in particular. Like, when I say they get talked about, it's not always positive praise when it comes to Caleb Williams and the narrative around him. A lot of people are questioning, was the second half of last year a fluke? Was the playoffs a fluke? I am eager to see what he does in year number 3. And I think with the 4 quarterbacks that I really look at out of this class is guys, Nix, Daniels, May, and Caleb Williams. I think by the time this season is over, all 4 of those guys will be looked at as top 10 to 12 guys in the sport. And I know Bo Nix is the one that kind of feels like I'm reaching when I say that, but I love his athleticism. He's got a real deep threat this year in Jalen Waddle to take the top off. I love the relationship that him and Sean Payton have fostered to start his career. I think
Best record in the AFC. Results speak for themselves, and he beat Josh Allen in a playoff game.
For sure, but it feels like, people talk about, system and his boat. Is how good is he really? I think Bo Nix's athleticism, his ability to push the ball down the field, like, I'm a huge Bo Nix fan. But I think all 4 of those quarterbacks, May, Daniels, Williams, Nix, by season's end, will be looked at as top 10 to 12 guys.
You're right that Jaden Daniels is kind of being slept on. Caleb Williams is literally on the Madden cover. Drake May was in the Super Bowl, nearly was the league MVP. And yet, Jaden Daniels was in the NFC Championship game as a rookie, one of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen. Now he gets a new offensive coordinator, a new offense as David Blau was promoted to offensive coordinator in D.C. Here was Jaden speaking this week on the transition to that new offense.
It's been fun just to build this foundation within the new offense, within the guys. It's been fun coming out here and competing at practice and just get to learn every day and get better. It helped out a lot, man. Just that relationship we have that we built since I've been here at first, and we both grown a lot over these years, and now he kind of knows me, knows how I work, knows what buttons to push, how to push me, what I can handle, what I need to grow at, and things like that. So it's been fun. We've all grown over this off season, so it'll be fun to everybody come back when now we're more comfortable. We're going to know the installs, know how we want to attack each play. It'll be fun to see what we can do in training camp.
Left
I'm
hand up.
eager to see it, man. You're not allowed to do that, but because you're mocking us when you do it. Every time you say left hand up or reference the song, it is to mock my Washington Commanders.
It's in support of you. I want
whatever.
good things for you. I want
I
your
hope
happiness
you do.
and fulfillment.
I hope you do. Here's the
I have
thing.
nothing against Washington.
You should, but here's the thing with year 3 of Jaden Daniels that I think is most exciting. For the first time in his young career, I don't think he's going to be asked to be Superman. I really think they are going to make a concerted effort, one, to run the football with the new zone blocking scheme up front with this offensive line that they've invested a lot of resources in since Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have gotten here to D.C. I expect him to thrive off of play action, something that Cliff Kingsbury was allergic to throughout the first 2 years of Jaden Daniels' career. And then he's got an easy button. He had one by way of Austin Eckler, a little long in the tooth. Chig Okonkwo, America, from the Tennessee Titans by way of the University of Maryland, is somebody that I think is waiting to be unlocked and waiting to become a household name in the NFL. He's just been unfortunate to have, rookie Cam Ward, bad Ryan Tannehill, the mayonnaise man Will Levis, and Malik Willis to start his career. I believe that's the easy button for this Washington offense that gets run after the catch stuff, that's able to create big plays. And if you go back the past couple of years, the only two guys that you look at that can create big plays for the offense was Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. I think that changes for 2026, and he's finally not going to have to be Superman. He will be a MVP candidate by season's end. If he's able to stay healthy, I think he will be in the MVP conversation.
This segment is sponsored by our friends at Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. So that's the first 2 picks of the 2024 draft in the NFL. Circling back to the NBA draft, which is next week, the Utah Jazz have that number 2 pick, and nobody seems to figure out what they're going to be doing with that pick. Johnny in Atlanta is up first. You're the first caller of the night. Let's make it a good one, Johnny. Johnny, what does Utah do it to if AJ's off the board?
All right, first of all, I'll say this. Caleb Wilson is the best player in the draft. I'm telling you that's the best player. But
I think he has the best traits to hold you up there. I don't think it's the craziest thing. That's why I say 1 through 4 doesn't have a huge drop-off. I think he is the most physically gifted player in this draft, is my opinion.
I play like this. If you look at his college stats, he's the only one who led in double digits in points and rebounds. Boozer just score points, then rebound and everything else. But the Utah Jazz will get Darren Peterson just because they need a guard. They got Ace Bailey last year, and then they still got Luke Marketing. So why would you draft Boozer to replace Marketing? No. They don't have no point guard. They got Isaiah Collar. Isaiah Collar is a good guard. I like Isaiah Collar. I'll take him over Peterson anyway, but it's Utah.
What? Hey, Johnny, go to hell on now. You're not taking Isaiah Collier over Darren
But it is
Peterson.
a fair conversation we need to have. Johnny, thanks for the call from Atlanta. This conversation about fit is what I think a lot of people get hung up on with the draft. Like he's saying, you can't take this guy because they need a point guard, or you need to take this guy because you need a point guard.
I get what everyone loves to say during draft season. We do this in the NFL as well. Don't pick for need. Don't pick for need. Dog,
Agreed.
let's just be frank about it. To act as if it's not a part of the evaluation and it doesn't come up in your thought process is baloney. You're not going. If you have a quarterback, you ain't drafting no damn quarterback. My whole thing when it comes to the Utah fit in particular, I do agree with you that it matters a little less there because of where the team is and what expectations are for them, going into next year.
And who's, by the way, running the team. Danny Ainge, again, has the track record that if he's going to take Jason Tatum when he has Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward, I don't think that's a guy.
Gordon Hayward was coming off injury and wasn't looked at as an elite wing at that point, too.
Paying him a ton. Couldn't move off
Paying him a ton, but you pick up what I'm putting down. So what Utah has in the front court is fascinating. Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, Walker Kessler. Adding Boozer to that equation, I don't know.
That's kind of fun.
It is.
I like that.
Well, someone's got to go. Someone's got to go in that equation.
Walker Kessler doesn't want to agree to a 5-year, $140 million deal. That might be the answer.
And at that point, you're running with a front court of 6'10", 6'10", 6'10", which is intriguing. They don't have the switchability, though, because I don't think Cam Boozer can step out and switch on the guards. I think Cam Boozer is going to get his lunch taken from him if he has to switch out on the guards at the NBA level. I don't think he's got the foot quickness. It's part of why I don't think he's worth the number 2 pick. But it's fun. I think playing with two bigs that can cut and stretch the floor the way that Markkanen and Jackson can is interesting when you talk about the passing ability of Boozer. So, I can see them playing together and it working well offensively. The problem I have with Boozer is I think the ceiling is limited because I don't think he's a great athlete. I don't. He's got great size. He's strong as an ox. Your boy Doc called him Tyler Hansbrough.
Last week he did that, yeah.
That was that was rough.
He also
I
is
get where
a huge Tar Heel fan.
So
it should be noted.
A little biased. I get where he was coming from, though, in terms of not a whole lot of skill when it comes to the offensive game of Boozer. I'm just saying. Love him as a passer. I agree. But in terms of creating for himself and others on a consistent basis, I don't know, man.
His passing ability, Tyler couldn't pass that way.
For sure.
That's the part where I take issue with it. Drake Toll, show super producer on Westwood One Sports, at E. Bates writes in, but how will this affect LeBron's legacy? Asking the important questions as always. That's what we do here on Westwood One Sports and on Westwood One Sports.
But as a resident Bronsexual, I feel like that was aimed towards me.
Yeah.
How will it affect LeBron's legacy? It's the greatest of all time, damn it. That's how it affects.
Coming up, mid-2000s Pistons Spurs, but it's golf. Keep it here on Westwood One Sports Night.
The U.S. men's national team looks to go 2-0 in group play when they take on Australia. Can the Americans win 2 games in group play for the first time since the original World Cup nearly a century ago? We'll find out Friday. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Like this comment, Lynnell. West Coast writes in, Josh still hasn't slept since the Hurricanes won the Cup. Multi-day bender. Could tell you this, I am happy that I'm talking to you from the confines of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and not at the Lenovo Center, where I would have been tonight if there was a Game 7. I am happy that is the case.
I am too, actually.
Because it's just been a few days of absolute bliss, super happy. I didn't know. I felt like Ricky Bobby didn't know what to do with my hands after
Did you say Ricky Bobby?
That game. Ricky Bobby. I didn't know what to do.
Bobby?
Nothing's open on Sunday night. and the game ends. So what do? I do the most North Carolina thing you could do. I drove 10 minutes to Cookout and got myself a big double burger tray with a chicken quesadilla and some fries and a Dr. Pepper to drink. That's what I do.
Do you go sour cream and salsa on your quesadilla, or you just how do you?
Nah. It just has cheese and chicken in it, and I dip it in some barbecue sauce. That's what I do.
Dip your quesadilla in barbecue sauce and not like salsa or sour cream? Sour cream?
They don't give you that. They don't give you that at the Cookout.
I'm sure you can ask for it. If there is an establishment out there giving out quesadillas,
we text a lot.
There's big news
about fast food related topics. We'll get to the golf in a second, but there's
massive
important
news in the fast food.
What was the headline?
Chick-fil-A, the most expensive snack in America, as I like to call it, has officially been unseated after 11 consecutive years, Josh Graham, as the number one fast food establishment in America. Unseated by you'd never guess. Can we actually play a game? I would love to know if people could guess who unseated Chick-fil-A. Because I feel like the average Joe would never guess it. Jersey Mike's?
See, this is the part where your
Jersey
appraisal,
Mike's?
your description, your blasphemous description of Chick-fil-A, the Lord's Chicken, is
the
just
Lord's
crazy.
Chicken? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. It's crazy because Jersey Mike's is mad expensive, man.
No, it is.
Chick-fil-A.
It is. They're both ridiculously expensive. 100%.
I'm going to Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
I feel like you have like you're so like buttoned up and organized. Like you go to Chick-fil-A every Thursday?
Yes.
That just popped me. So that's
true.
incredible. That's incredible. But no, like Jersey Mike's, living a sub above, the best thing they have going for them is their slogan. You're right. The sandwiches are extremely overpriced. They've got 3 sizes to try and trick you. It's amazing. But I did work there. It's my last real job, actually.
The U.S. Open, maybe as I'm at Chick-fil-A, going to be going on starting at Shinnecock Hills in the Hamptons of New York, round 1 of golf's third major of the year. And once again, it's going to be a massive struggle for the golfers, the best golfers in the world. And this is the most unpopular golf take that I have. People get mad when I make it. I don't care. I will die on this hill. This is not a good thing for golf. It's not a good thing for the viewers. Because of the win, Lynnell, there will be holes that are just plainly unplayable this week, namely number 7, number 11. The USGA knows this, which is why they're trying to do some PR damage control on the front end, saying they've taken extreme steps to try to improve the conditions for players. But there's only so much you could do. 2004, 2018, the last 2 times the Open was there, produced similar results where 1 under par or even par would win the tournament.
Does that bother folks?
It bothers me because I don't like watching that. I don't like watching guys just struggle the entire time. I like seeing great golf shots rewarded, not just roll off the green because things are so crazy. Whee! And secretly, ever since Rory McIlroy wrecked Congressional not far from where you're at 15 years ago, this is the kind of major the USGA wants, intense amounts of struggling, and even par and 1 under winning tournaments. But Lynnell, here's the best comp I have for you. This kind of golf is like watching the 2005 NBA Finals. A 7-game series between the Spurs and the Pistons that saw triple digits achieved by one team one time the entire series. Game 1 was decided 84-69. Game 7 was 81-74. Some defense is good. We don't need 120 to 115 each game.
Of course.
But obviously there's a middle ground between these two extremes.
It,
is this a sound analogy to you?
I feel like it is for sure, but there's beauty in the struggle with both. Seeing the guys overcome it and make it to Sunday with those sort of conditions and who is able to, outlast one another. I think like that's the beauty of it. I love watching low-scoring football games and low-scoring basketball games. Maybe it's the defender in me. But
you love that 13-3 Super Bowl.
Oh, I love it.
Patriots and Rams.
No, it's great. It's high-level defense, man, where dudes are whipping ass up front and taking names. Like, that is That is a part of the beauty and the violence of football. But for golf, I think if you are the PGA, you should relish this course for one reason. What you get, to me, is the ultimate parody when the course is jacked up. Now a guy that's probably got, some of the lowest odds to win the tourney on DraftKings is probably now in it for
like
a day
JJ
or two
Spawn,
longer.
who won it last year.
So I like that because it creates more parity. It gives an opportunity for a no-name, to kind of come out of nowhere and win the tournament. And that's kind of, to me, is what's special about golf. And if you're the PGA, you should be, if whoever wins this tournament, because of the conditions and because of how it's being talked about, this is the chance to maybe create a star, somebody that people care about, narrative, storylines. That's what golf lacks.
Unpopular opinion number 2. I don't want JJ Spawn winning this tournament.
Are you American?
Scotty Scheffler's. I want Xander Schauffele. No. I used to love American Idol. I used to love that show back in the day. And there was this Asian performer named William Hung that performed Ricky Martin's She Bangs and became a viral became a viral sensation to the point where they brought him back onto the show.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, yeah, I don't really want to hear She Bangs anymore from this. I want to hear the good singers. We like the train wrecks and have, what's his face? Colin Cowell. Is that what it is? Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell. Simon
awful.
bash the guys and crush them. We like that. But we don't want the bad singers at the end of the episode. It's like the NCAA tournament. We want the upsets in round 1 and 2. We don't want St. Peter's in the Final Four. We want Kentucky playing North Carolina.
I think most of America would disagree with you on that. People want to see the underdog.
The ratings
People
say
love
I'm
it.
right.
It's about the underdog. It's the American dream. That's why we played Dusty Rhodes obnoxiously on Sunday after the Knicks won the title Saturday night, man. This is what it's all about. But real quick, I'm sorry. I have a sick Ryan Seacrest impersonation.
Is that right? Can I hear it?
This is American Idol. No?
I thought you were going to do the tease. Do you think you can
Jelly
deliver?
Roll and Jamal.
Do you think you could deliver a Ryan Seacrest-like tease for our LA Rams NFC conversation at the top of the hour when we get to the end of this segment? Because Ryan Seacrest is best known for his teases, how he threw to break. Next on American Idol.
Wow.
You think you could do that?
You know what? I'm no weenie. I'm no weenie, so I'll try. I'll try.
My Randy Jackson impression was a lot better than that. Just hands together. It's a no for me, dog. It's
not bad.
That's all I got.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a
You know what
Paula
else hasn't
Abdul
been bad?
impersonation? She's not worth impersonating. That's what I would say. Paula Abdul. Can't stand her.
It is weird. This is a first for the show. We've been on air for 6 months. See some asking, why aren't you wearing Hurricanes gear? Why aren't you wearing Hurricanes gear? Well, for one, I went to buy the gear. I got a hat, got a shirt, and it said, congratulations on your team winning. That gear will arrive promptly in July. So that's number one, why I don't have any Hurricanes gear celebrating the championship. Number two, for the first time ever for this show, the Baltimore Orioles are playing while we're on the air. And they're up 4-1 in the 8th against the Mariners. And yet the tying runs at the plate right in the heart of their order. So stress is starting to build.
Orioles fans, you should relish tonight. This is probably, one of their 65 wins that they'll get on the year. This is awesome.
That's not nice. Shout out though, while we're talking about our teams. I was going to say, I wish it was the Dodgers they were playing. The Orioles play the Dodgers on Friday night while we're on the air. Excited for that. But I just forget whether or not you're a Dodgers or a Nationals fan. The Nationals have been a really fun story.
Do we have to go through this every week? I am a Los Washington Dodgers fan. I root for both. It's like Bloods and Crips all in one. We're uniting it. It's that emoji that you see, not that emoji, that meme that you see. with the Bloods and the Crips tying the flags together and going for peace. I'm a Los Washington Nationals fan. The Nationals currently holding down the third and final wild card spot in the National
don't do
League.
that.
What?
It's way
No,
too soon to look
hold
at
on.
wild card
When you
standings.
have struggled the way that Washington has
Well, just
over the
cite their
past
record.
7 seasons.
They're 3 over 500. That's worth celebrating. Don't do the wild card.
No,
standings.
'cause this is what it's about. This is what it's about. If they are in this position or within 2 or 3 games of the wild card at the deadline, I think it drastically impacts what they choose to do. Instead of, standing pat, maybe they get a little aggressive and get somebody for their bullpen. That's the weakest issue right now, the biggest issue right now for them. They have no bullpen. Speaking
Zach
of,
Littell did not look the part tonight. They lost to the Kansas City Royals, but still 3 games over 500. That's a really neat story. Also a neat story, Kenyer Cano getting the Orioles out of that inning.
woo!
Fired up. Fired up.
Fired up.
Make sure if you haven't already, you're subscribed to the podcast, Westwood One Sports Night, on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. However, wherever you listen or watch. Greatly appreciate that. Lynnell, it is time.
Oh,
What do you have?
America, after an offseason filled with blockbuster moves, the Los Angeles Rams seem to be the belle of the ball in the NFC.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Who says June is a slow sports month, Lynnell? Wildly entertaining action at the World Cup today. You have the U.S. Open beginning in golf on Thursday. And a lot of interesting things happening at NFL camps. George Pickens is at Dallas Cowboys minicamp. He is participating. This is despite the team announcing they weren't going to extend him this offseason. That was right before the draft. And that he was going to have to play on a franchise tag, something he's now saying he's completely cool with. How does Pickens' buy-in and participation, hey, cool with playing on the franchise tag this year, change the way you think about the Dallas Cowboys?
Josh and America, it alleviates our real only concern about the Dallas Cowboys for 2026. Everybody universally across the sports world agrees that they did a pretty darn good job of overhauling this defense, this secondary in particular, with Jalen Thompson coming over from Arizona, with Caleb Downs being selected. Make no mistake about it, the Cowboys have a championship-level offense, key caveat, when George Pickens is in the fold. The big question that we all had was he going to play ball? And it wasn't because of, anything to do with George Pickens and his character or anything like that. It has to do with the reputation of the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to these high-profile negotiations over the past several years. See CeeDee Lamb. See Dak Prescott. See as recently as last year with Micah Parsons. So the fact that they're not going down this route with him, the fact that cooler heads were able to prevail and he's going to be there, I expect the Dallas Cowboys to be focused, to be locked in. And, Josh, I'll take it a step further. They are the biggest threat to the L.A. Rams in the entire NFC. I look at the Dallas Cowboys as the biggest threat to the L.A. Rams in the entire conference. If they could get just average defensive play, I'm talking somewhere between 16 to 18. This is going to be.
Let's pose that.
This is going to be not only a postseason team, but a team that should have real Super Bowl aspirations. And I know people are going to probably say, oh, same old Cowboys, same old Cowboys. Christian Parker and the powers that be on the defensive side of the football would say otherwise about their resurgence and people doubting it.
Let's actually pose the question then. If we acknowledge that the Rams are the favorites in the NFC, who is the greatest threat to the Rams in the conference? 310-840-4910. You say it's the Cowboys. I'll provide a secondary option, the San Francisco 49ers. And here's why. Let's do a thought exercise. Rather than being absent via injury last year, let's imagine a world that Fred Warner and Nick Bosa never were Niners in the first place, and that San Francisco still went 12-5 in the most difficult division in football, as they did largely without those two players. And then let's imagine that they added Warner and Bosa in via trade or via free agency this offseason. How much differently are the 49ers being talked about in this hypothetical? Because odds are they might be talked about the way the Rams are being discussed by adding McDuffie and Myles Garrett, that, oh, you just added two all-pro caliber players when they're healthy that you didn't have a year ago when you went 12-5. Also, retaining Trent Williams. They are supposed to get George Kittle back. George Kittle says he's going to be ready for week 1. We'll see if that is the case, but you should have George Kittle this season. Plus, they added weapons for Brock Purdy in the way of Mike Evans and Christian Kirk. So, San Francisco is the team you circle twice, because if we're going to make this about Dallas versus San Francisco, old rivalry from the 90s, the Niners have a third-place schedule despite going 12-5, which is crazy. Bottom 10 most places you look at when scouting the most difficult schedules and trying to assess it. The Cowboys, meanwhile, have a top 5 most difficult schedule in the sport, actually ranked third by Warren Sharp. Also, you should just trust.
Should you?
You should just trust Kyle Shanahan more than you trust Brian Schottenheimer. You should trust John Lynch more than you trust
I don't know,
Jerry
man.
Jones. You should trust the Niners more than you trust the Dallas Cowboys. We have enough sample.
I trust Dak Prescott more than I trust Brock Purdy. That's where it starts for me. And there is a damning stat that really colors how I view the San Francisco 49ers. This is a league which you saw in the Super Bowl and you saw throughout the postseason runs in both the AFC and the NFC. What is this league about? Winning on both sides of the line of scrimmage. The San Francisco 49ers were dead last in sacks during the 2025 season. Why
is that?
Dead last in pressure because they didn't have Bosa. Great. Outside of him, outside of Mr. Bosa, who is the guy that you trust along that front to consistently impact the opposing team's quarterback? I don't see it. And I think last year, instead of looking at it and saying, oh, well, we didn't have Joey Bosa, why did no one else step up and, seize the opportunity? I know they were battered with injury up front. I would give them that. But, that's my biggest question with them. Can they get after the quarterback? That's the biggest question to me plaguing them. And their age. They're old as heck.
So you say the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I say the Niners. What say you? 310-840-4910. The greatest threat to the LA Rams. Did we just lose Rick, who's in Chicago? Let's go to Rick, who's in Chicago. We just lost Rick. I have a guess where Rick would have headed there. Probably. Don't want to make assumptions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chicago's got the same issue that San Fran has. Can't get after the quarterback. Now, San Francisco was battered by injury last year. But here's the thing, Josh. What has been the story of the Kyle Shanahan era? Injuries. What happens? 1 year they're in the conference championship or the Super Bowl. Next year they get battered by injury. Then they get to play a last-place schedule or a third-place schedule. Then they wally their way to the conference championship again. It's like clockwork. When are the Niners going to get over the hump? This is the real conversation that folks out in the Bay Area should want to have. How long is it going to take for this group to finally get one? Can Kyle Shanahan win the big game? They're too busy this offseason playing tiddlywinks with Brandon Ayuk. Let's see if the pass rush got better. Let's see if they're finally going to be able to get over the hump. They are also relying on Kittle coming off of a January Achilles tear. We're just acting like he's going to be ready for week 1. I think it's the biggest joke of the offseason. And then Mike Evans, who has been as unreliable as anybody at the receiver position over the past 2 years by way of injury. He's your number 1. Christian McCaffrey last year probably got the most touches in football. We think he's going to be able to bounce back and stay healthy. I think it's another year where the Niners end up beat up, and Niner fans are looking in the mirror at one another saying, "What happened? What happened?"
My head is about to explode, and I think your head's about to explode for different reasons. See, the Baltimore Orioles are playing during the show. That's never happened in the first 6 months here. And the Orioles had a closer that they brought in the offseason. One of the biggest acquisitions they made was bringing in Ryan Helsley. And Ryan Helsley had been out for the last month and a half. Tonight is his first game back, and they're up 5-1 going into the 9th. First pitch, home run.
Jesus.
Second pitch, home run. And now it's a 5-3 lead that the Orioles are trying to protect. That's why my head's about to explode. Your head might explode.
You should be used to this,
because,
though. So I don't know why your
true.
head's about to explode.
Your head might explode by what Daniel in Houston's about to suggest is the biggest threat to the LA Rams. Daniel, go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Detroit, and
wow.
glad we got the Dallas honk, and then I believe you're a Packer fan if I remember right, and you did great getting the sweep last year.
I don't root for anybody. I'm a Carolina Hurricanes fan and a Baltimore
I'm sorry.
Those are my two teams.
I'm a Commander
and by the way,
fan.
the funniest thing that you could say, Daniel, is that he's a Cowboys honk because this is on YouTube and on X. You can stream the show. You can watch it. Lynnell is literally sitting in front of a banner that reads Washington Commanders in a Jaden Daniels jersey right next to
signed helmet hanging. I got a signed helmet hanging off the wall. Are you
left
kidding?
hand up. So
I am his Commander
a little bit off in that regard. A little bit.
Congrats on Ben Johnson's wonderful last play calling extraordinary game in Detroit. That was really special. The hatred for that dude and the way he left us in that game. I quite know that Philly would have pounded us because our defense was terrible. But the fact that we lost to Washington that couldn't stop anybody, Gibbs was getting like 8 yards a clip, and then he calls like empty backfield, triple lateral.
Right, so why are the Lions? So why are the Lions the biggest?
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear.
I would love to hear the case. I would.
Look at the schedule. Their hardest game is at Buffalo in September. Like, it's a phenomenal.
How does that help you when you get to the playoffs? I don't care how good your schedule is. You play the Rams in the playoffs. Game on. It's here.
They're clearly the top team, but the Lions have the threats. Look at the friggin' skill players, man.
This is the problem.
Gibbs is right there with Robinson. Anybody that denies it's not 1A, 1B
it has nothing
never
to
seen
do.
Jameer Gibbs.
It has nothing to do with the skill group of the Lions.
1A, 1B.
Their skill group is great.
1A, 1B, the Rams and the Lions.
Their skill group is great. Football is won and lost in the trenches. And the last time I checked, they have major questions up front along the offensive line. You're moving Penei Sewell from right tackle to left tackle and acting like it's nothing, like it's going to be no big deal. You know who's going to make or break this year?
Have you ever watched that guy play?
Of course, he's great.
Then what are
Playing
you
right
talking
tackle
about?
and left
He's the
tackle
best
is
tackle in football.
I don't care what you're saying.
All right,
Playing
Dan.
right tackle
Thank
and
you.
left tackle
Good to
are
hear
two
from you,
totally different things. The thing that's going to make or break the 2026 season for the Detroit Lions is whether or not Cade Mays actually provides something for this group, whether or not he's somebody that can legitimately hold down the fort in the middle of their offensive line, because that was their big issue last year. They lost Boy Wonder and they lost Aaron Glenn, and both sides of the football looked lost, and their identity is that offensive line, and last year it was not good with Frank Ragnow leaving town. The Cade Mays free agent signing could make or break that season for them. I know Cade Mays.
I like Cade Mays.
I know you do.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of him. He's a country boy from Tennessee. Like Cade Mays. Like dealing with Cade Mays. That call was an adventure. I told you it would make your head explode. And it did a little bit.
Lions fans are delusional. And when you've lost and not won anything the way that they have it for like the entirety of my lifetime and my parents' lifetime, I get it. When you have Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson tell you to go kiss their ass because your organization just sucks and they can't. Why did those two dudes both retire early? because of their injuries or because the organization sucked? Which one? Come on.
Well, they haven't sucked the last few years.
And then,
I mean,
the
really
garbage
good drafts
they did,
by Brad Holmes.
and the garbage they did to Frank Ragnow earlier this winter, taking his money away from him, garbage.
The Lions,
I hate
the Lions
the
are the betting favorites in the NFC North. Strangely enough, they are.
No.
So, but I do have good news for you, Linnell. Got good news for America.
What is that?
Baltimore Orioles 5, Seattle 3 final.
Okay, there we go. So you can relax. You can take a chill pill now.
It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a magical show. Super psyched.
Well, the Orioles won that. Isn't that enough magic? One of the 65 nights in the summer and spring that you get to
better
celebrate.
than sex. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910.
It's better than sex? I would beg to differ, pal. I would beg to differ.
If we acknowledge the Rams are the favorites of the NFC, who's the greatest threat in the conference? We've heard a number of nominees thus far. Also, LeBron James, he's closing in on a decision for his future, and we'll react to the latest in that regard next on Westwood One Sports Night. International soccer's taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matchups that you love, all in one place with one app. Now DraftKings customers, new DraftKings customers, sign up with code Westwood, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code Westwood. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus. Void in Ontario. Event contact trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in prediction dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks. Expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawal reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's first $500 million man. The future Hall of Famer has a new deal with the Chiefs worth over $500 million. Coming off major knee surgery, will the three-time Super Bowl champ still have the Mahomes magic to live up to the contract? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell, focusing our energies on the left coast, the West Coast.
About to say easy there, pal.
The LA Rams are seen to be the favorite in the NFC. Who's the greatest threat to them? You say it's the team that has their training camp in California, the Dallas Cowboys. I say it's the San Francisco 49ers. Getting a lot of other submissions in here as well. You could call us, text us, 310-840-4910 if you like. We'll talk about Los Angeles' basketball team in just a little bit and some guy named LeBron James. But let's go to Javier, who's in the Bay Area.
Oh, this should be
Javier,
good. A delusional Niners fan, probably.
Are you with me on this, or am I wrong to make assumptions about where you're calling from?
Oh, you have every right to make every assumption that you want to. Really, my main reason for the call was the lunacy of Lynnell's statement that he believes more in Dak Prescott than Brock Purdy. That is absolute lunacy.
Why is it lunacy? Tell me that.
Well, let's see. How many playoff games has Dak Prescott won?
What the hell did Brock Purdy do last postseason, buddy?
Took us to the playoffs and won again.
Couldn't crack a 60% completion percentage in either the game against Philly or Seattle. He sucked against Seattle every time they played them this year.
Would you be saying this? Would you be saying this, Lynnell, if they didn't lose an overtime game against the Chiefs? Would we be saying this? I mean, Brock Purdy has won a number of playoff games.
Dude, last postseason, Brock Purdy was hot garbage, and they got
Dak Prescott couldn't hold Brock Purdy's jock, period.
Whoa!
Get out
There
of
goes Javier at Santa Cruz. I love the takes.
Get out of here.
That's great.
Does anybody out there believe that Brock Purdy is better than Dak Prescott? Is anyone out there crazy like Javier? That's nuts to me.
Talent-wise, maybe not, but playoff resume, that does count.
Playoff resume. You guys are saying this off of a postseason in which Purdy sucked. And then if you look down the stretch of last regular season, Brock Purdy wasn't very good.
Well, again,
you're
using the sample of one playoff game and ignoring the sample
playoff
of
games.
the
He
run
wasn't good
to
against
the
the Eagles either. Against Philly and Seattle in the 2 playoff games they played last year, he was not very good.
They didn't play 2 playoff games. They played 1. They lost to Philly.
No, they beat Philly.
They didn't beat Seattle.
They beat Philly. They beat Philly first, then played Seattle.
Oh, yeah. Got it backwards. Yeah, they won the game against, with George
But in
Kittle.
both of those games, he was not good in either of those games. So I don't know what Niner fans are talking about with that.
Let's go to Stefan, who's in Santa Cruz. Stefan, biggest threat to the Rams in the NFC is? What's up?
Denver Broncos. Denver.
That's an AFC team.
Well, I mean, they're a better team, regardless, and all that. Let me go.
Rams? Okay.
Oh yeah, Lynnell. Let me say something, and you're going to trip out.
Okay.
Your quarterback. Your quarterback. He's going to be the next greatest quarterback. Give him the right tools.
Jaden or Dak? Who are we talking about?
Jaden.
Talking about Jaden. He knows who my quarterback
Daniels.
is.
I know quarterbacks. I went through the scouting academy. I studied. Look at the film. Watch the film. Keep watching the film and all that. When Lamar came out, I knew Lamar was going to be a dumpster and all that. They have to water it down for him. Water it down for him. How many times do you need to water it down? Going back, and that last caller with Detroit, why are you crying in fact...
Go ahead.
Did you say Lamar Jackson was a dumpster?
Yeah,
Did I just hear that
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Well, when you say a dumpster, do you mean like a Louis Vuitton dumpster or something? Like a designer dumpster?
He's just a quarterback that relies too much on that high RPO, athletic quarterback, run. Look at the way he throws. It's unorthodox. It's weird.
Yeah, we should.
And going back to that Detroit Lions fan, stop it. You guys had a chance. You guys dropped passes in a crucial game against the Niners. You guys should have went, and now it's cursed. It's a cursed team.
That is
Jaden Daniels
Smith from Santa Cruz.
Hey, Jaden Daniels is the next big thing, man. He's going to be the big. I mean,
I can smell what you're cooking with that. I agree. I do think Jaden Daniels is the hottest thing jumping out the coffee pot. I believe.
Does that outweigh the Lamar Jackson take?
I mean, that I have an issue with. I just don't understand. And maybe this is just me missing it. Why do folks still criticize Lamar's ability to throw the football? Like he's not. Like why is it still talked about as like some significant weakness of his?
I would say
I don't get it.
People don't watch the tape or the film, as he kept saying. This is a pet peeve, by the way, of mine. Can we just get this out of the way?
What's up?
Nobody's watching film in 2026.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It's video. I would even accept tape. Like tape, I don't think people are watching tapes either. It's video? Can we just say that? Is that okay?
Video with
Who's
very
firing
little
up
context.
the film machine?
Well, I'll be honest. I am subscribed to NFL Pro, and I do get access to all 22. I watch Commanders all 22 for fun at times.
Right, that's video.
When we're good.
It is not film.
Ask me how much all 22 I watched last year when we were a horse's ass compared to 2024 when we were good. It's much more fun to watch good tape than
Just
bad.
saying.
But no, I agree with you. It is one of the it happens on Twitter because there are all these armchair GMs and armchair, film evaluators, and now that everyone's got access to the all 22, it's actually ruined the culture of like football analysis, in my opinion. Because the most lazy cop-out, watch the tape. Anytime someone is like going back and forth and it's like when you tell someone to shut up in an argument. It's like you have nothing else to say, so you say shut up. In football, it's watch the tape. Like, tape my ass.
Or
literally tape my ass to the pole.
Come on my podcast and argue with me about it. No, I think I'll pass on that one.
The way that you said podcast,
getting to that,
it made me think of
that L.A. basketball team. LeBron James, he is leaning towards choosing the Lakers over the Golden State Warriors, who are trying to land LeBron services. Here was ESPN NBA insider Mark Spears sharing the latest that he's heard.
On return to the Lakers add up for you?
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that he's likely coming back. I am curious under this new Lakers regime, what the number is, though. Interesting to hear what Bobby had to say about it. And also I'm hearing that one of his old teammates from Cleveland, Kevin Love, could likely be joining the Lakers, too.
Oh, maybe that's a golf recruiting trip they're having right now?
Unrestricted free agent, rejoining his old buddy.
Yeah.
And so I could see that those two guys being reunited there.
I mean,
is this surprising to you at all, Lynnell?
I'm sorry. We buried the lead. Who the hell? Why did Mark Spears bring Kevin Love's ass up? What the hell is Kevin Love providing to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2000? Why did he even bring him up?
Well, if he's signing him, I mean, that's news. That's his job to bring news. That's news if you sign
Who
Kevin
cares?
Love.
It's Kevin Love in 2026. Probably can't even jump over a piece of paper. Are you kidding?
You do these things. With Cam Boozer, you did this. You did it with Kevin Love, the not jumping over paper bit. Not about it.
He's unathletic at this stage of his career. Can he still shoot it? Where did Kevin Love play basketball last year? Does anyone know?
Do you know? Do you know where Kevin Love played last year?
Was
Who
he in
he
Utah?
played for? That is correct.
It was. I thought it was somewhere super obscure.
After leaving the Heat, he was a member of the Utah
But
Jazz.
no, I was about to say
the Laker news surprise you at all?
Tell me if you agree with this or not. With LeBron going back to L.A., if they're going to run back the trio of Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James, with LeBron being the third option, we saw in a limited sample size that could have some extreme success. They picked up wins over the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, during that month of February. And I think, remember what I said going into the postseason for the Lakers? Their biggest issue was the fact that they didn't get to see that trio together in a postseason series playing playoff basketball together because it didn't really give them an opportunity to gauge whether or not it's worth bringing them back or not. It's great that we saw it in the regular season. We didn't see it in the playoffs, so they missed out on that opportunity due to health. They've got to improve their front court. They need wing help. That's the only scenario in which, to me, LeBron should be interested in going back there. But I think differently than the rest of the country on LeBron. I still feel like he should be ring chasing because if he gets to 6, I'll leave it at that.
It's a little surprising because the Lakers have different priorities than LeBron has right now. LA's building a future with Luka as the centerpiece, and that's different than LeBron, who, if you were to ask him, would say he's still competing for titles. The Golden State Warriors, they would make more sense for LeBron because that is a franchise that's pushing all its chips in right now. Their window is almost identical to LeBron's window. Steve Kerr knows it. Steph Curry knows it. This mirrors LeBron's urgency, which is why you shouldn't be surprised that Golden State is going to take some sort of a big swing on its roster. Not likely to land Giannis, but we've heard the rumors about maybe a third team's getting involved to complete that trade. Maybe if the Celtics are landing Giannis, maybe Jaylen Brown is getting sent to the Golden State Warriors because Golden State has the bevy of picks and Milwaukee does a complete reset and Jaylen's not part of that. How about Anthony Davis from your Washington Wizards? Because if you have Steph, Jimmy Butler, an all-star level forward, and LeBron, that's more interesting than what the Lakers are cooking up within the window that LeBron's still going to be playing basketball. But, to your point, there's a scenario that LeBron neither wants to retire and also doesn't want to compromise comfort late in his career. Los Angeles is his home. There's discomforts that come with moving to a new team, which LeBron hasn't done, by the way, in 9 seasons. The longest stint he's spent with any team without interruption is what he's done with the Lakers here. And also his son plays for the Lakers. He's probably going to make more with the Lakers than he would with Golden State. So that probably all plays into him wanting to be with the Lakers as well.
The money part of it's interesting. I get the way that it's being talked about, I would say, in the national media space with guys like Mark Spears and Brian Windhorst and other guys that are close to the situation. I think Golden State would have the entire $15.5 million mid-level exception to offer to LeBron James. Mm-hmm. The Lakers can offer a little bit more, but if you're LeBron, this is where it comes down to, what's most important to you? Salary in year 24 or year 23, whatever year this is, or competing for a championship? Because if the Lakers overpay LeBron, they don't have the ability to put together and make the necessary, upgrades that they need. I think they need the combination of Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton. I thought was the worst 1-2 center duo in basketball last year at times. Both guys, I'm just not fans of either. They both can't shoot. They both aren't good rim runners. They both aren't willing defenders. They don't rebound. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They got to get an athletic rim-running big to play with Luka Doncic. He's had that in Dallas, and that's when he was his most successful. And they need, dude, what's the NBA about? Switchable wings and big positional size on the wing, guys that can guard and shoot the 3-ball. The Lakers don't have any of that, man. Look at this roster. That's why the problems with the Lakers are so much deeper than just LeBron coming back. If I'm LeBron, why do you want to be in an organization that gives Rob Pelinka this sort of leeway to make decisions? This roster sucks. It's garbage.
310-840-4910. Mr. Positive is with us. Mr. Positive, what should LeBron James do?
Dynamic duo, boom shakalaka. Hey, I think he should stay, but I think Lynnell's right. They really don't have a good three-pointer, but weren't they doing pretty good until Luka got hurt at the end of the season? Weren't they right there a little bit? There was a little bit of injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the 4 seed or the 3 seed for a lot of the. There was that log jam 3 through 6 for a while in the West. I hear that, but it's in the playoffs.
Thanks, Mr. Positive.
In the playoffs, we saw what their Achilles heel was. They couldn't guard. They could not guard in the postseason. That's why OKC made such quick work of them without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing well and without Jalen Williams, period. They still got gentlemen swept. So, or 6, however many games it was. So I just think the Lakers got to have a lot of work to do with their roster. I don't think LeBron coming back moves the needle one way or another.
Coming up, to parade or not to parade? This is Westwood One Sports Night.
We're a month away from NFL training camps opening. The return of Patrick Mahomes, QB battles in Cleveland, Minnesota, and Atlanta. Myles Garrett joining Matthew Stafford in L.A. Get ready for football season with Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Less than a week out from the NBA draft, Lynnell and I will have our mock draft 20 minutes from now. The NBA season a wrap. The Stanley Cup handed out at the start of the week, meaning it's parade season, spelled SZA. Two parades this week, Lynnell. First, the New York Knicks, Thursday, today, depending on when you're listening, Canyon of Heroes. First time we've seen the ticker tape parade there in 15 years. The New York Giants winning the Super Bowl in 2011, the last time a major professional sports championship came to New York, and you had the Canyon of Heroes victory parade. On Saturday, it's my Carolina Hurricanes victory parade in Raleigh, North Carolina. Lynnell, while I'm a diehard lifelong Canes fan, is it strange that I have no interest at all in attending the parade?
Strange, unfathomable, ridiculous, ludicrous, head-scratching. Let me check for another adjective. Like, literally, I for the life of me, I remember what I asked you earlier. Are you doing a bit? I'm going to ask you again here in real time. Are you doing a bit? I think, first and foremost, if my beloved Wizards or Commanders were to, win the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, it would literally be the number one thing I would think about next is, oh, my God, what am I going to do for the parade? What am I drinking? What am I wearing? Am I wearing anything at all? Like, I think it's awesome. I love parades. I love people celebrating and the fans celebrating together. Like,
I hate parades. I'm anti-parade. I'm not ashamed to say it. See, here's the thing. This is what you need to know about me, Lynnell. This is important. There are few things in life I hate more than traffic, than lines.
Hold on, you're from North Carolina. What do you know about traffic, King?
Well, hold one second. I mean, you're talking to a guy that when he eats out for lunch, whether it's the Lord's Chicken or somewhere else, would never eat I would always go between 11 a.m. and noon because I didn't want to get caught up with the lunch crowd. Same thing applying with dinner. When I show up at games, I get there 3 hours early, and I don't leave till hours afterwards because I don't want to deal with it unless you don't ever get to see the team. I get it if you don't, like, being priced out is a real thing. I don't understand the appeal of the parade. Again, I was at games 1 and 5.
Can you
I got to
rephrase
see
it,
the
please?
team. I got to watch it. What do you mean?
You understand the appeal. It's just not your cup of tea. It's not what tickles Josh's fancy.
What is the reward for braving traffic and standing amongst throngs of people? Waving at players on a bus as they go by? That's my form of entertainment?
I'll tell you the reward, pal. The reward is getting to celebrate in the camaraderie that you get amongst the fans that watched 90-plus games of Carolina Hurricanes hockey this year, pal. That's why you brave the traffic. Dude, people get proposed to during these things. They give out merchandise. You can meet the love of your life. You could meet a friend for life. Like, the opportunity to celebrate. Why are you looking at me crazy? Like you can't meet a friend for life at the parade.
What? You can meet a friend for life anywhere.
What? You think I can, when I walk across the street to my local Safeway, what are the odds? What's a higher chance? Me finding my friend for life at Safeway or at the damn Hurricanes parade, where we all have something in common, our love for this team?
Yeah. Am I tripping? 310-840-4910. I feel like I'm trying to say the brave thing here. I think this is brave. I think more people feel this way, but no one says it out loud. That's it. That's where I think I'm at. So am I crazy? Or are the parades overrated? It's more for people that, for whatever reason, don't go to the games because you might be priced out.
But dude,
I get
it's for everybody.
Free, it's accessible. Yeah.
The parade's for.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're at the games,
like
why do you need to be there? If you're at the games, you don't need to be there at the victory parade.
Because when you're at the game.
And don't get me started about showing up to the airport. Don't get me started on that.
I actually think the airport bit is cool. I was wanting to show up to the airport after the Commanders beat the Lions to go to the NFC Championship in 24. I seriously consider going to the airport. Where was I going? I don't know, Josh. I'm wondering if you're actually doing a bit with this. The other thing that's different about
When do I ever do bits? This is true. This is honest. I'm not going this weekend. I could easily take off and go. I'm not.
Again. I'm stunned at that, by the way. But here's the difference between the game and the parade, Josh. Chance to have camaraderie and fellowship at both. But when you're at the game, you're focusing on the game. When you're at the parade, you're not really like there are going to be some super fans that are locked in that, probably are listening to the damn play-by-play broadcast and wearing headphones while watching the hockey game, in person. Because you're so locked in, you're a super fan. At the parade, you're boozing up, you're celebrating, and you're joshing it up, for lack of a better phrase.
Could you
with all
see
the,
me
the
boozing
Joshinites.
up on the streets of Raleigh to sell? Could you see me doing that? Like get a couple rum and cokes and walk. I don't even know if you're allowed to do that. Like I think you'd have to be inside the restaurant. I don't think it's one of those where you can walk outside with containers and by any means.
It's a parade. Of course you can.
I don't think that's true. Laws still apply.
It's a parade.
Open container laws are a thing.
No, they don't apply at parades, pal. Laws don't. Laws are broken at parades. I'll say that.
Yeah, ain't no laws when you're.
But can I
drinking
see you
claws.
boozing out? Is there karaoke nearby? Like maybe would you like that if there was is there karaoke?
Yeah.
during the
Hammered,
parade?
singing Scorpions. Here I am, rocking like a hurricane.
Is that like the official song?
That's what they play when they come onto the ice. They also every time they score play "Raise Up" by P.D. Pablo. So
P.D. Pablo, P.D. Pablo,
North Carolina's finest. Yeah,
he's from wow.
The entire song "Raise Up" is about. He literally says every county in the state of North Carolina.
The only thing I know about P.D. Pablo is he was interested in her goodies, and that what a great
Sierra.
song.
He's interested. I had a friend of mine
Mystical
who
just got arrested
matched with
today for
him
rape.
on. I had a friend of mine who matched with him on Bumble in Eastern North Carolina, and then met up with him, and it was P.D. Pablo.
Stop playing with P.D. Pablo, bro.
He was on the app.
The P.D. Pablo slander actually stops now. You're not gonna sit here and tell me
He was on the apps. I can confirm
that P.D. to Diddy Pablo was on the old Bumbler
on the apps.
Are you kidding me?
He was on the apps. I can't confirm.
If you're popping like P.D. Pablo, what's the first picture you got? I'm going hard, dude. I'm doing something radical.
No. It was one of those. I don't know what he was standing in front of, but he had both his hands in front of him.
Hold on,
and
your
he was
pose
standing and
something
mean mugging.
now. Yeah, man. I'm telling to give you the album cover look. I'm about to say,
I've
man,
seen
anybody out there that's of the opposite sex that listens to this show, I am on all dating apps. And if you happen to scroll past my profile, make sure you give me a swipe to the right, whether you like what you see
Can
or
you
not.
send me screenshots of your profile? I would like to
see-
know what your profile looks like.
Which one? So no, I'm kidding. It was a joke. I have a Facebook dating account. Do I actively swipe on it? Every now and then. Last time I swiped, yesterday. But
yeah,
like
what?
Can I
How
read
many
you my
pictures?
bio?
How many pictures?
This is great.
There aren't
This
any like gym pictures, are there? Or you like on a mountain in nature, or
I
like
may
a
have
near
threw
selfie?
I may have threw a 2017er in there just to show him what I could be. You know what
Oh.
I am secretly trying to. My goal tonight is just to pop Denton behind the scenes. I wish just to know that he's back there geeking makes me warm. I can only imagine the damn facial expression that he's.
I would
making
like
right now,
to
'cause
see.
he knows
I
I'm
could probably
dead-ass
find my
serious.
dating. I met my wife off a dating app.
But for me to throw a 2017 pick in there,
Actually, I think
to
Denton
show
and I
her
have
what I
that
could
in
be,
common. We have that in common.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I actually don't have any. My bio says none serious, all vibes.
You have a great smile. Why isn't there a picture right up top of you smiling? Why are you doing the mean mugging thing?
Do you see this face? There is no. I'm actually going to tread lightly because I forgot that I'm getting stage fright, boys. I just thought of something in my brain. We'll discuss it during the break. We'll discuss it in the show outside of the show. If you have to swipe, you got problems. Hold the hell on. First and foremost, anybody that is against swiping.
Don't acknowledge that. It's anti-information. I met my wife
He
off
said it's anti-information.
one of the apps. It is. Like, it's just more
anti-information
access, more information. It is. And that's, worked out pretty well for yours truly. Could say that. Mm-hmm. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast. It takes a lot for Lynnell to have stage fright, as he puts it.
Well, no, it's not that I had stage fright. What you'll find out about this organization is we're never rushing to be in the championship picture. When we get in the we want to build a sustained contender, not some flash in the pan, if you pick up what I'm putting down. Sustainability is the number one thing that matters in the team of me.
Did you ever read the bio?
Yeah, I did. Are you just like not?
No, I heard the part where you said not serious.
None serious. N-U-N, comma, all that.
I didn't know if there was more to it.
I'm vibing.
Just making sure. He is vibing. We're vibing. Because we're less than a week away from the NBA draft. So it's only right that Lynnell and yours truly deliver our lottery mock draft. Lynnell's got the first pick, and it's next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. Let's do a mock draft. We are less than a week away from the NBA draft. Lynnell, we're going to go through the lottery, the first 14 picks. This is what you think is going to happen. Trades included if you would like to.
Ooh.
You have the first overall pick because it belongs to your Washington Wizards.
Ooh.
The Wizards are on the clock.
I see you, Mike. Good evening, basketball fans. Thank you for all that join us around the world globally to watch the 2026 NBA draft. With the first pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select AJ Dybantsa, forward, Brigham Young University. That was my Adam Silver impersonation, by the way. Did you pick that up, by the way?
It's pretty good. I liked it. First pick, it's going to be him. That's why you haven't moved the pick. You know Utah wants him. The fact you don't move back a spot tells you that you also want him as well. He's going to be the number one pick. Number two pick. It's in. The Utah Jazz are selecting Duke forward Cam Boozer.
Wow.
I think they do it. I think Danny Ainge is going to do it. I've compared this draft to the 2022 draft for a while. Rather than three guys at the top that we didn't know what order they'd be taken in, there are four in this draft. And I can see Danny Ainge being hung up with some of the stuff with Darren Peterson. I could see Danny Ainge loving just how much of a gamer Cam Boozer is and how he wins at every single level. And it going well the last time he selected a guy out of Duke, even though he had a lot of depth at the position he was drafting at, not worrying about fit when he had Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward on the team. I think that Cam Boozer is Danny Ainge's guy.
So in this scenario, right, where the Grizzlies are on the clock and Darren Peterson's still on the board. Is there a team that tries to come up to number 3 to get Darren Peterson? He's that type of talent.
You can't move.
If you're the Grizzlies, you can't do it.
You can't move out of it.
If you're the Grizzlies, you can't do it. But if you get some sort of ridiculous offer and you're able to move back, I'm just throwing out scenarios here because I just
don't know why you would do it.
It's the first thing I think of when I see Peterson available at 3 for Memphis is somebody going to be willing to go, hey, I need that guy. If you're the LA Clippers, if you're Steve Ballmer, you don't think there's no package that can get you from 5 to 3 to go get Darren Peterson? Pairing him up with Kawhi? You kidding me?
You're already happy enough that you have the 5th pick, given how the lottery went. If you're Steve Ballmer, who are the so the Grizzlies are taking Darren Peterson?
Presumably you take Darren Peterson. I know I messed up the exercise, but is that not super intriguing to think about? And I know that the Grizzlies will be crucified for it.
Not to me, because again, I don't view there being much difference between the top 4 guys. I don't care what order they go in, because I think they're all very close to each other and very good. I don't think there are tiers, because the number 4 pick is going to be Caleb Wilson from North Carolina to the Chicago Bulls. Has it ever worked out, the Chicago Bulls taking a North Carolina player in the top 5? I don't know. Someone could fact check me on that. Number 5 pick, it belongs to the LA Clippers. What do?
So I think they're very much a trade candidate here. I don't know what they would be looking to get in a scenario like this, but man, I think if you're the Clippers, you got to be on the phone with the Milwaukee Bucks inquiring about Giannis Antetokounmpo. We've had Law Murray on from The Athletic, who covers the Clippers on a daily, saying no, he thinks they're going to stick and pick here. In this scenario, if you're going to stick and pick, I'm going to go with Michael Brown. He's the guy that's got the most juice and buzz right now out of that second tier of guards. I know, Darius Acuff in this situation is very much a possibility for them. I think they value the positional size and two-way ability that Brown gives them.
That would surprise me, just because you're trying to win right now. You're trying to sell tickets. You let James Harden go during the deadline. You might want a guy who's a bucket right away, a Trae Young clone, as some put it, and Darius Acuff. But you're right that Mikel Brown Jr.'s name flying up draft boards, and the stock is high amongst this group of 4 point guards that's kind of in the next group of this draft. Number 6 pick, it's the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think they pass up on positional size either. I think that's a team that's valuing a lot what your physical tools are, and that's not Darius Acuff Jr. It's not Kingston Flemings. So I think they go Keaton Wagler out of Illinois, the 6th pick. Are we staying with the trend of point guard 7 to the Sacramento Kings?
Man, I feel like you kind of have to here. Or if you're the Kings, do you take a upside swing? If we go back and talk more about positional size and the ability to create at 6'10", if I'm the Kings, you're an organization that feels like they're totally in the dumps. Your fan base needs a shot in the arm and something to get excited about. You would think I'm talking about Darius Acuff with that. I'm going Nate Ament to the Sacramento Kings. Give him the keys. Give him the keys to the Ferrari. Allow him to be the guy. Play through him and grow with him. Whew. Struggle with him. Succeed with him. Grow with him.
Wow.
That's the shocker of the NBA draft to you, huh? Is
That's
Nate
pretty
Ament
shocking.
going 7th overall? It's a shocker to
Because
you.
the Atlanta Hawks in this situation race.
ESPN's got him ranked as
ticket
the
in.
9th best prospect. I had him going 7th.
I think that's high at 9 as well. Darius Acuff Jr. to the Atlanta Hawks. That would be my favorite place for him to end up. Hey, you don't have Trae Young anymore. Well, now you got Darius Acuff Jr., and they need help at the
the point guard spot, I think you get that help in the way of Darius Haycup Jr. at 8. This is a fascinating spot. The Dallas Mavericks at 9.
So I really like what Dallas has with Kyrie Irving coming back healthy, presumably. Just him pairing up with Cooper Flagg. You still got, your front court pieces and P.J. Washington and Lively and Gafford. You need somebody, to me, to share the backcourt with one Kyrie Irving. Big guard, positional size. Give me Brayden Burries out of Arizona going 9 to the Dallas Mavericks. Actually love that. Still
Great
got
fit,
Najee Marshall. I think the Mavericks are going to be the draft is very important for them. Important for every team, but they've got to hit on both 9 and 30. It's part of the reason why they hired Masai Ujiri. This is what he's known for, hitting on late picks. Their 30th pick is more interesting to me than 9.
Deep shooting, really good player, young as well. Love Brayden Burries. Number 10 pick. I'm going to shake things up a little bit. Trade!
Whoa.
Got to trade.
Okay.
The Charlotte Hornets are trading 14 and 18 to get to the Milwaukee Bucks spot at 10. Is it to take Kingston Flemings, who's falling? No, it's to take A.D. Mara from Michigan. Especially with Ament off of the board, they want to make sure they are aggressive and moving up to get one of those bigs inside, and they get A.D. Mara, feeling like a team that is close to get into the playoffs for the first time in more than a decade. They are aggressive in getting to number 10. Warriors on the clock.
So this is going to be interesting because there's one dude that consistently I see mock to Golden State. This feels like Yaxel territory, right?
Yes.
I'm going to throw a curveball in here when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. I am going to go with the guard out of Alabama, LeBaron Philon.
Over Flemings?
To go in the backcourt with Steph Curry, giving you something similar to what you had during the heyday of the Golden State Warriors. 2 certified bucket getters in the backcourt. Philon more of a scorer than Klay Thompson was, not the defender that Klay was. A little slight of size, and he's a little skinny, but he's 6'4", long, and can fill it up. I go back to the game where him and Darius Acuff went at each other. That night, he proved to me he is big time. Not just in the world of college basketball, but his projection to the NBA as a pure scorer. Him and Steph Curry getting buckets together, that's exciting to me.
Holy hell.
Did I just shake up the...
We just allowed the Oklahoma City Thunder to get Kingston Flemings at number 12. That is crazy town. That Kingston Flemings is available there, and we're all going to regret it that happened because Kingston Flemings is an incredible player.
If he is available at 12, I think it directly influences their offseason. Lou Dort, I believe there's a team option with him. A lot of folks assumed they were going to decline that, allow Cason Wallace to step up, be the starting guard. Who would be your Cason Wallace replacement off the bench? One Kingston Flemings. I actually love that for the Oklahoma City Thunder if it was ultimately able to play out that way. The Miami Heat at 13, I'm going to assume that this is not the Heat making this pick. I'm going to assume that this is Tyler Hero and the Milwaukee Bucks making this pick. And think about this if you are the Milwaukee Bucks, if you're a Bucks fan. You move off of Giannis, yeah, that's tough. But you're going to get back Hero. You're going to get back Khalil Ware. You're going to get back Jaime Jaquez. You're also going to get back this 13th overall pick. I think I'm running to the podium for Yaxel here. Yaxel Lendenberg.
All right.
Out
Even
of
though Milwaukee's in the rebuild and he's older, you still do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Rookie contract.
Yaxel.
Guy that's got a ton of upside.
Yaxel Lindenberg in that spot. Could be the Bucks making back-to-back picks because number 14 with the Hornets trade, Milwaukee on the clock, and I think they go Moretz Johnson out of Michigan. Had a great combine, champion, 3 Michigan Wolverines taken in the lottery. And that puts a bow on it.
There we go.
That is our mock draft.
In this scenario,
for next Tuesday night.
If it is the Bucks on the clock at 13 and 14, and they get that package back from Miami,
And 18.
like, that's how you do it, Jimmy Haslam. That's how you get back something that, maybe gets people excited. Because I think Khalil Ware's got upside. I love, what Yaxel's got.
Do we still have Sean, who's in Chicago? I asked the question if I was the crazy one for not wanting to go to the Carolina Hurricanes victory parade, even though I'm a lifelong diehard Hurricanes fan, just not a parade guy. Sean is in Chicago. They've had their fair share of parades there. Sean, am I the crazy person here?
No, you're not. I totally agree. First of all, I love the show. Second of all, I'm not gonna disagree about PD Pablo. It's just that I'm a little older than you guys, and the best R&B band ever to come out of North Kakalaki is Jodeci.
Jodeci's from North Carolina? I never even knew that.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Most of them. Yep, for sure.
Okay.
So there's that. But I totally agree. I love my team, but there is no way I'm sifting through all those people. God knows what's going on. I don't even like to go to certain games unless the seats are a certain way where I'm like, okay, man, I feel like I can breathe and watch the game and enjoy it. That's just the way things go. By the way, what do you think of this, by the way, in terms of your mock? Ready? Peterson, what if they said, hey, man, let's trade Kawhi, which, by the way, is supposed to be a possibility, and they trade Kawhi away? Would they want Peterson? I'm talking about Clippers now. Well,
all right, I got you. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Steve Ballmer's
5-3.
desperate. Steve Ballmer's
5-3.
desperate.
We're gonna trade.
Steve Ballmer's
I
desperate.
appreciate the call, Sean.
Depending on what happens with a certain investigation, what if the NBA says, we need the 5th pick as a punishment? Because they're about to get the hammer dropped on them. Adam Silver is about to go Kanye crazy on Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. I think Kawhi may be safe because he's Kawhi, and they're going to say, the player's just innocent here. They got the hammer coming down on them.
Much like us, quarterbacks talking this week. You'll hear what a couple of them had to say, and we'll react next on Westwood One tonight. International soccer's taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered. The DraftKings Sports app now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love, all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code Westwood, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code Westwood in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus. Void in Ontario. Event contact trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in prediction dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks. Expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawal reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Baker Mayfield is looking for a new contract before training camp. Will the Buccaneers get a deal done with the franchise QB or risk a distraction hovering over Tampa Bay all season? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell, when I was in high school, a banger.
Yes, it was.
Did you ever used to freestyle with friends of yours?
Oh, I
for
still
fun?
do. I still do.
I do that all the time. And this was the beat right here, where if you just turn down the music very quickly.
You drop a hot 15.
Lynnell, can you do the sound with your mouth, replicating the drums and like the kit there? Can you do that piece of it?
That's a drum? I thought he was just going
some sort of.
I thought he was just doing it with his mouth.
So someone in our group
That's
would
so
do that
impressive.
piece of it, what you just did. This is the part where you continue doing that real quick. And then I or someone else would say, Stu! And then somebody would freestyle on top of that. It's a great song for that. So am I going to drop a Hot 15? No, I am not. I know what that means, which might be good foreshadowing for grammar
Should have
school,
never got me
which
started
is
doing that.
1 hour away.
I may continue to do it periodically throughout the show.
Start doing?
I don't like the way it sounds, actually. Mine isn't as good as I thought it was. My Ryan Seacrest is way better.
Was there an instrumental that was a popular song to freestyle behind that you would pick with your friends?
No. See, I came up in the era of type beats on YouTube, and you would just type in Migos type beat, Future type beat, Young Thug type beat.
I didn't have that
so
option.
it was never a certain instrumental. It was just type beats. So that was always cool.
For me, it was a song that I think is now kind of like a cult classic because I don't think it was huge at the time. This is going to be the part where Denton says, no, this song was actually massive. We Be Steady Mobbin' is the song.
You were freestyling a
Young
We Be
Money.
Steady Mobbin'?
Oh,
Holy cow.
great beat. Excellent beat.
Yeah, Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane. What
Yes,
a song.
Young Money. Whole deal.
Wow.
But that would be the song.
I feel like
I forget who it was that said he was a hip-hop socialist. I think that was Lil Wayne,
Lil Wayne
on that track. Yeah.
Life is a gamble, and he's all about his poker chips. If there was
That's right.
like a song that like, if you had to sing every lyric or else you get like shot in the head, that would probably be my song.
Millie by Lil Wayne.
Yeah, it would be a Lil Wayne song probably, but either that or We Be Steady Mobbin'. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. We promised that we were going to
You looked at me like, you know all the words to We Be Steady Mobbin'? That's the way that you just looked at me. Like, you know all the words to We Be Steady Mobbin'?
Big ballin' is a hobby. Let's get to what is up, Gucci Mane the G. We could do this, but we're not going to. Let's get to Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. We were talking about the top of the NBA draft, which we'll see what happens at the very top. Don't know what Utah's going to do it too. We know what happened 2 years ago when Caleb Williams went number 1 and Jaden Daniels went 2. We heard from those guys this week. And namely, the focus should be on Jaden Daniels here because Jaden was talking about working with David Blau, the new offensive coordinator who was promoted in D.C., and here's what he had to say working with a new offense.
It's been fun just to build this foundation within the new offense, within the guys. It's been fun coming out here and competing at practice and just get to learn every day and get better. It helped out a lot, man. Just that relationship we have that we built since I've been here at first, and we both grown a lot over these years, and now he kind of knows me, knows how I work, knows what buttons to push, how to push me, what I can handle, what I need to grow at, and things like that. So it's been fun. We've all grown over this off season, so it'll be fun to everybody come back when now we're more comfortable. We're going to know the installs, know how we want to attack each play. It'll be fun to see what we can do in training camp.
Can you help me out with this piece, Lynnell? From the outsider's perspective, and this is something I feel personally with the Bills, promoting from within isn't going to prompt as much change as you would hope, is the criticism of the Bills. You expect to get better by promoting Joe Brady to be the head coach when you let go of Sean McDermott. And in D.C., you can levy the same type of criticism in saying, well, wasn't he in the building as the assistant quarterbacks coach already? And wasn't this guy just a quarterback a few years ago? Like, what is the case of David Blau making this offense that much better for somebody who isn't in the district as you are?
So I think this is totally different from what Buffalo's doing. Joe Brady's been around. Joe Brady has had his fingerprints on the offense previously. Like, I don't think this is now just making Joe Brady the main voice. Like, this is totally different. schematically in Washington, things are going to look drastically different offensively. Despite Blau being under Cliff Kingsbury, as many folks out there in NFL circles know about Cliff Kingsbury, he runs a authoritarian government from the offensive perspective. Doesn't really value a lot of input from others, and it was his offense, his way, or kind of the highway, and that is ultimately why he's no longer in the district. The number one stat that I think is most telling and where you'll see the biggest difference, and we referenced this earlier in the show. Over the first 2 years of his career, Jayden Daniels has been in the bottom third, the bottom 3 or 4 guys in terms of play-action pass attempts since he's entered the National Football League. He's been near the bottom of the NFL in terms of snaps under center. So I think that schematic change, taking some of the burden off of him and his legs and allowing this offensive line, which you've invested a lot of resources in, to go out and bully people up front, I think things will look a lot different, and Jayden Daniels is set up for success in 2026.
If you were redrafting 2026, who goes number 1, or 2024? 6 quarterbacks taken in the first dozen or so picks. Who goes 1?
People are going to say I'm biased. I would select Jayden Daniels 1. I think we've seen
over Caleb and Drake?
Over Caleb and Drake, and here's why. I think we've seen the highs and the lows of all of these quarterbacks to this point. I would take Daniels because I think his high was the best out of all of them. I think his ceiling, when he's playing at his best, compared to when Drake is playing at his best, compared to when Caleb is playing at his best, I think Jayden's is the best in terms of the ability to run,
Drake,
throw, push the ball down the field, the accuracy, the ball placement, all while doing it with a YMCA supporting cast.
Drake nearly won the MVP, though.
Jayden Daniels would have been in the MVP conversation. It just so happens that Lamar Jackson had the greatest quarterback season that we've ever seen in 24. And then they ended up giving it to damn Josh Allen. So I think Jayden Daniels would have been firmly in the MVP conversation. When you look at what he did on the ground, when you look at what he did through the air, when you look at the game-winning drives, when you look at how he performed in the clutch and in the postseason, all while really just having Terry McLaurin and 35-year-old Zach Ertz to throw the football to. Cupboard was bare, my friend.
Give me Drake May. Just because I think he's done the most to this point in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And
barely,
I think there's the less drama. There's the least amount of drama that comes along with him, too. Whether it's injuries or off-the-field comments and things that Caleb Williams seems to constantly involve himself in, dating back to his days in college. It was, Lynnell, a wildly entertaining day in the World Cup. Harry Kane scored twice in England's 4-2 win over Croatia. Cristiano Ronaldo did not score. Portugal drew 1-1 with the Congo, and that led to Thierry Henry having criticism in which he said, they don't need you to score, the team needs to score. As if to say,
fighting words, huh?
You saw Lionel Messi net a hat trick yesterday and Erling Haaland get a couple of goals. Ronaldo's trying to get his, being a bit selfish rather than helping Portugal get into the win column against the Congo. The match of the night, Ghana beating Panama. 6 minutes of added time were on the clock. Ghana scored the game's only goal in the 95th minute to win that 1-0.
Shout out to Ghana, man.
Shout out to Ghana.
Shout out to Ghana.
Colombia looked really good against Uzbekistan. The first goal was as pretty as it gets. And then there's one match I'm forgetting about. There were 5 today. Austria, 3-1 winners against Jordan on June 18th. That is Thursday. You have, what do we have in the Men's World Cup today? The United States doesn't play till Friday. So you got South Africa versus Czech Republic. You've got Switzerland versus Bosnia. We're starting to see second matches take place for teams in the group stages: Canada, Qatar, Mexico, South Korea. The four games that you can watch on Thursday. So That's the recap of action in the World Cup.
I'm fascinated to know if any of the listening audience is, participating in the extra opportunities to booze that the World Cup provides. I believe it was, 22 when the last time we had the World Cup, right, if I'm not mistaken? And
yeah, every 4 years.
Dude, the Navy Yard area in D.C. kept their bars open 24/7 during the World Cup. And I thought, holy cow, why does a bar need to be open at 9 a.m.? Well, because the people that are from that country want to come watch, their fellow country play and throw back some cold ones. What's too early to start drinking? Coming from a Darty animal, I'm a Darty animal. Shout out to Drake told the party animals. But I used to love a good Darty back in college.
If it's before 7 a.m., it's too early.
Okay, I've never drank that early before. And I've had some very wild college stories.
I've been to some SEC football games where the tailgate lots for a 7 o'clock kick p.m. open at 7 a.m., and I've seen people out there. I was in Rocky Top, Knoxville. Shout out to those folks. Up next, Lynnell is going to bring it in Weird But True, a story that might be related to the state of Tennessee. Just might be. Plus, I have 3 U.S. Open bets to hand out because I'm gambling again here on Westwood One Sports Night.
The U.S. men's national team looks to go 2-0 in group play when they take on Australia. Can the Americans win 2 games in group play for the first time since the original World Cup nearly a century ago? We'll find out Friday. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell, dealer's choice. Do you want me to hand out 3 U.S. Open bets first or get straight to your weird but true?
I have 2 weird but trues. So in lieu of that, let's get weird while simultaneously getting factual. The second weird but true is something that's honestly kind of sad, and we'll get to that in a second. But there is a self-driving robot toilet that drives to your bed, washes and dries you, then returns to its dock to clean itself. It's officially been unveiled in China. Reports suggest it could cost around $4,000 per unit, depending on the model. The AI-powered toilet, initially designed to help elderly and disabled users live more independently. But all I'm thinking about is how much better. If I'm in China watching Scott Hansen in Red Zone and I don't have to go to the bathroom comes to me, Josh Graham. Hot damn it. It's a football lover's dream, this AI-powered toilet. We're
doing the show. During the show, you can go to the bathroom. Don't even have to leave.
It could be awesome. It could be awesome. That probably wouldn't be great because I happen to be team noisy when it comes to my flatulence.
Have you been inside a Waymo in the district yet?
Did you just say, wait a minute? Like Waymo? What's a Waymo?
The self-driving cars.
Oh, I would never get in a self-driving car. Are you kidding me?
But self-operating toilet.
Not familiar. Well, not familiar with the self-operating car Waymo. I don't know ball on when it comes to Waymo. I don't.
Yeah, it's a car.
I would never trust
They're available in a lot of the big cities. It's huge in Los Angeles. I'm sure Mike sees them all over the place.
How many Waymo acts? I don't want to get sad and doom and gloom, but like in L.A., with how bad their drivers are, I think it's terrible that we got them here in D.C. The regular D.C. people can't drive worth a darn. Imagine you throw AI cars out there that are self-driven. You're just asking for an accident.
What I've been told is they're pretty safe.
Oh, of
but
course.
one thing that's kind of annoying
Uh-huh.
is when the Waymo has to take a left turn because their depth, they don't take the same chances you would getting over on a left turn. So you might be stuck at a light or stuck at a left turn for a little while.
I can imagine
what
that.
I've been told. What is your second weird but true story?
We may have to rename the segment for the second story. Weird, true, and sad. It pains me to bring the general public this news. I don't know how many people are already aware of what's happening here in this situation or what's about to happen. Jelly Roll, according to TMZ, filed for divorce from his wife Bunny after 10 years of marriage. And I'm looking at Jelly Roll previously, and I'm thinking of what Jelly Roll looks like now. Women got it tough out there, man. I will say this, but men have it tough as well, too. Men and women out there, I'm the bachelor of this program, so dating advice for me, usually is not, it's not strong. I've had some mishaps with women on the show, as you all know. If you run the risk, like throwing over the middle of the field late as a quarterback, if you run the risk of dating somebody that's fat, you better bet your ass the moment they get skinny, you're on the hot seat. 110%. You immediately go to the hot seat once you become skinny. I can speak to it. I'm telling you. Once, this was the winter of 2021. Put on a few extra pounds. Knew that, I was getting ready to come back home from college, and I wanted to be in the new dating pool and be able to see all the people from high school that I hadn't seen. So I decided I was going to get my ass in the gym. And the person that I was talking to, when you're a little bigger, you attract a little bigger people. And I was getting smaller, and she wasn't. And I immediately, took my talents to another team.
Is it a lack of respect thing? Like, hey, if I'm able to do this and you aren't, then you kind of lose
it's just
respect?
The dating pool. Let's just call a spade a spade. When you are a heavy-set person, and that's just a reality, you don't have as wide of a dating pool as someone that's in shape would have. You know what I'm saying? So when the pounds drop and the options open, you see what I'm saying?
The Tiger Woods defense.
You pick
Tiger
up what I'm putting
had
down
all
here?
had all these options because he's Tiger, and thus
You know what I'm saying?
the people essentially
Jelly
the
Roll should be
defense of
ashamed of
Tiger.
himself, though.
Essentially, the defense of Tiger was some version of, you don't know what it's like to have as many options knocking on your door as Tiger Woods had.
It's tempting. I understood where Tiger was coming from. But Jelly Roll ought to be ashamed of himself. That woman stood by his big ass.
Why are you presenting Jelly Roll like this is like a national American tragedy that everyone is going to be so bummed and lose faith in
Because
the
I
world
think it's
and
tough.
America because Jelly Roll is getting divorced?
This woman stood by him through thick and thin, literally. Like drugs, alcohol abuse.
Certainly on thick.
Literally. So I just think for him to drop a little bit of weight, get off the GLP-1, and get off the bunny train too, it's a character flaw if you ask me, man. I'm no longer a Jelly Roll stan. I think it's a bad look.
Were you a Jelly Roll stan before this?
I wouldn't say a stan, but him and Jamal
Who's
Roberts,
a Jelly Roll stan? Who's saying, you know what? I ride or die with Jelly Roll. I don't know this person.
He's an American. Hold on. Now you're not. I know we're trying to low-key dunk on Jelly Roll. You've gone too far. He is an American hero, Josh. Why would you not want to stand for Jelly Roll? Yes, he's an American hero. He
American
is
hero?
What America is about, man. The land of opportunity, second chances, not letting one particular moment define you. You know what I'm saying? Being able to overcome your addictions and overcome your demons that are in the closet. Jelly Roll's a warrior. He's also a fat shamer. I'm joking. But, I don't know, it's tough, man.
Let's get to handing out some winners because it's time for Graham's Gambling.
Sitting back, count money all day, It's time for Graham's Gambling. Let's make some money.
Buckle up, Lynnell, because because I got 3 U.S. Open bets. It's about to start in a few hours. Get it locked in. Get it ready to go. My pick to win the U.S. Open.
Hold on, let me write this down.
19-1 odds. The X-Man, Xander Schauffele.
I love that name.
Xander Schauffele. Xander Schauffele is the pick. I think he should be just as much of a favorite as Scotty Scheffler is this week. I think.
I didn't think the conditions impacted.
I'll say this.
Okay.
The U.S. Open is generally pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
He has participated in 9 U.S. Opens, and he's never finished worse than 14th.
Guy that routinely makes the cut. Okay. I can dig it.
That's crazy, finishing near the top of the leaderboard. And his second U.S. Open was the last time they played here at Shinnecock Hills. He finished 7th. So, he knows the course. He's played the course well. 19-1 odds. I love the X-Man as my pick to win the U.S. Open. Top 10 finish.
Oh, you're really getting
This
in
is
the weeds,
essentially,
huh?
this is
is where the
essentially
real
a
money's
links
at.
golf course. This is essentially a links golf course. Ty Hatton. Got to go with somebody from the European side of things.
Ty
Hatton. He top 10 finish.
Top 10
nearly
finish.
won the U.S. Open last year, and playing some good golf. He actually had a top 10 finish in that U.S. Open in 2018 as well. Ty Hatton, top 10 finisher. We're going with him. And then I just can't quit this guy in majors. Corey Connors to finish top 20. All of these are plus money
What's
odds
your affinity
here.
with that guy? What's the?
He's Canadian, and I always get mad that he appears on the screen in the final rounds of tournaments all the time because you just look at the scoreboard, you're like, or the leaderboard. Why Corey Connors? And I got plus 400 odds for him to finish top 20. This is a guy, again, he always seems to hang around in majors, and I couldn't believe that the odds were that favorable. So plus 400 for Corey Connors. All of this is courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. And let me get those odds real quick. Top 10 finish for Ty Hatton. I can get you, do some scrolling. Top 10 finish plus 700 odds. Or, no, those are too great. Plus 335.
It's not bad.
So there you go.
So
Ty Hatton plus 335. Corey Connors top 20 at plus 400. Xander Schauffele to win 19-1.
I know you just give out your pick and some top 10 finishers.
Mm-hmm. And a top 20.
Do you expect, strictly based off of the conditions that we know are going to be, extremely difficult to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
how likely do you think it is that somebody with super long odds ultimately is frisky and playing on the final day for the lead?
It's greater because J.J. Spawn, don't even think was ranked top 25 in the world golf ranking when he won the U.S. Open last year. So it does open the door. We saw how difficult the PGA Championship was playing last month. And I was critical of it. And if it wasn't for an insane final round by Aaron Rai to get to 9 under par, you were talking about the champ being somewhere around 5 under, which, again, some people like it. That's not my cup of tea. And when you look at that leaderboard, it's a guy like Aaron Rai. It's someone like Alex Smalley. It's Matty Schmid. Guys who have never won a tournament before or come close that finished top 5 in the tournament. So I do think it opens the door for longer shots to potentially do so. I don't understand why Scotty Scheffler is such an overwhelming favorite. Hasn't won his last 13 tournaments. The U.S. Open, he has a chance to complete the career slam. The reason why he hasn't, this is the tournament that he's played the poorest in. He had 4 of his 5 worst major outings at the U.S. Open. So I don't think this is Scotty's week, even though he has the opportunity to make history before his 30th birthday, which is next Tuesday, oddly enough.
Damn, he's only 30?
29.
Damn, that actually, wow. I know he was that young. I didn't know he was that young.
Yes.
Is he the most decorated golfer at his age for right now?
At his age, for sure. At his age, for sure. It does remind you just how crazy some of the things Tiger did was.
Right.
Tiger won the career slam, and he was 24. That's what?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Just impossible. So there you go. Jelly roll and some winners. In some ways, Lynnell and I are the perfect hosts to hit on the two biggest stories in sports this week. And we'll do just that next on Westwood One Sports Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Last call for phone calls, because the most entertaining guest in sports talk, B-Dot, joins us 20 minutes from now. That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. 310-840-4910 if you want it. Let's go to Chance, who's in Alabama. Chance apparently takes issue with Lynnell and I having some concerns about whether or not Joe Brady is an upgrade at head coach and letting go of Sean McDermott. Why do you have so much faith in Joe Brady, Chance?
Okay. I never said I have a bunch of faith in Joe Brady, but I do have a lot of issues with the bunch of stuff y'all said tonight. Number one, I think Jelly Roll, fat or not, with the money he had, he could have got any girl he wanted. You know, money and fame, I don't think losing the weight made him divorce his wife. I think he could have done that fat and got any girl he wanted. Second of all, he commented that Lamar had the best year of all quarterbacks of all time or something of that when Allen won the MVP. You go back the year before when Lamar won the MVP, check out Allen's numbers. They're better. And also, Allen didn't have Derrick Henry. Now, to the Brady point, I don't think Brady is some huge upgrade, right? I think Sean McDermott is a pretty darn good coach in the regular season. Once the playoffs hits, his defense is averaging 30 points. So here's my point. Let's say defense is par for the course, right? He has been successful with good quarterbacks. He stinks with everyone else, but he's been so. Let's say he ups the offense.
Who are we talking about, Brady, or are we talking about McDermott now? We're talking about Brady now?
Brady.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Brady now, right?
We're doing
so
the
let's
Lord's
say,
work for Chance. This is a therapy session. You're a delusional Bills fan. Josh Allen threw 18 interceptions.
I was about to say, Tyrod Taylor went to the playoffs.
How the hell was Josh Allen supposed to win MVP in 2023 throwing 18 interceptions? How was he supposed to do that?
That ain't that bad.
What?
That ain't that bad.
Top 5 in the NFL.
With the numbers he was putting up, and the receivers he had. But
he ran for 500 yards. Lamar ran for 821. I'm sorry.
Let's let him make his point about
Josh
Joe Brady.
had more yards, way less talent. Anyways, Brady, like I said, let's say defense is par for the course, right? Joe Brady's pretty good with good quarterbacks. Man, just average 2 more points a game in the playoffs. Maybe that gets us over the hump. I'm not saying he's some huge upgrade. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying McDermott chokes in the playoffs. He is a defensive coach. He is a defensive mastermind. Supposed to be. He stinks in the playoffs.
How did McDermott choke in the postseason? When Josh Allen.
Say that again.
How can you blame? The Bills made a panic move because their owner is stupid and didn't know what else to do. The Bills should have just ran it back, man. Josh Allen totally screwed them over in the playoffs. You don't expect your quarterback. What was it? 4 turnovers in the divisional round? Like you can't win with that.
What?
That's not on McDermott.
Guess what? And the Denver game, he threw a dime to the receiver to set up a game-winning chip shot field goal, but the receiver fell on his back. And you keep bringing up them 4 turnovers. It drives me nuts.
But why
What
does
do you
Sean
mean?
McDermott
Why does it
deserve to
drive
get
you
fired?
nuts
Well,
that
hold
we
one
keep
second,
bringing
hold
up the
one
4
second,
turnovers?
hold one second, hold one second, hold one second. What does that have to do with Sean McDermott, though? You said Sean McDermott choked, and then you're saying it was a great play and they should have won the game. Why did they fire Sean McDermott?
I'm just commenting on what he just said. He's blaming Allen for losing that game. Allen put him in a
I
position
know, but
to
I'm
win in
saying what
OT.
you responded with contradicts what you said before that. Sean McDermott didn't choke a playoff game if you're going to defend Josh Allen saying they should have caught the pass and won the game. Like, why did Sean McDermott deserve to get fired?
Because his defense averages 30-plus in the playoffs. And he has no answer for Casey. And the number one reason.
Brother, you gave the Denver Broncos 4 extra possessions. Of course they're going to give up 30-plus
and
points,
it meant
pal.
nothing. And it meant nothing because he put him in position to win on a chip shot field goal. Chip shot 2 years ago, same thing, man.
Chance, I don't know if I can lie. I don't know if I can reason with that. I appreciate the call, Chance.
No, but it's Bills fans. It's those Niner fans. They're
Well, I believe what the Niner fans are saying.
They're delusional, man. They are.
I don't think the Niner fans are delusional. I think you came a couple plays away from beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, lost in overtime. There's reason to believe in Brock Purdy. If you
don't
that.
think the Niner fans are delusional because you're also delusional about the 49ers.
Well, it's not delusional. If you, I don't think Josh Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy was a play away from winning the Super Bowl.
Make time for the brocculator. Less time for the brocculator. I love broccoli.
Brock
I love
lobster.
yeah.
We are here probably the best hosts in America to talk about two of the biggest stories in sports right now. The Washington Wizards had the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. You are a Washington Wizards fan. You are in the district. You and I seem to be aligned that the Wizards would be making a mistake drafting Darren Peterson at number 1. But what is your hang up with Peterson in D.C.?
I believe that when you
is that
have
Bradley Beal and John Wall, what is that?
It's we and we.
Sar and
Alex Sar and Bilal Coulibaly. The reason I think the Wizards can't go with Darren Peterson is because you have Trae Young in his prime. We got some news earlier in the show that I don't know if we officially announced over the air. Trae Young chose to decline his $49 million player option.
Oh my gosh!
With the Washington Wizards. Not a big deal at all. Gives the Wizards a lot more financial flexibility and the potential to maneuver and work the trade market. They still hold the bird rights to Trae Young. But Trae Young is 27, 28 years old, still in the heart of his prime. I would not be bringing in another point guard with my number 1 overall pick. I actually believe that if they did go with Peterson, that him and Trae Young could probably coexist together in the backcourt. But I look at what the Wizards have struggled with over the past 4 or 5 seasons of this rebuild. They need a guy that's just got a ton of gravity offensively. They need somebody that can consistently break down defenses off the bounce, force guys to collapse, create for themselves and others. Dybantsa's box office, man. I think he's the most talented dude in this class, and if they go with Peterson, I'd be a little bit surprised.
I'm Dybantsa first. In terms of how I rank these guys, Dybantsa first, Caleb Wilson is a close 1B, but we'll place him second for the purposes of this. Then it's Darren Peterson and Cam Boozer, but that's razor-thin separation too. I got Peterson 3, Boozer 4 in terms of how I would rank the top 4 guys in this draft, but I don't think there's a lot of separation between those 4. If you want Darren Peterson, why not just move back 1 spot to 2? Like, to me, the craziest scenario possible is Washington taking Darren Peterson at number 1. Because the reason you should be fired up as a Wizards fan is that you know damn well that Utah wants AJ Dybantsa.
Right.
Why would you let them get AJ Dybantsa at number 2 if you can get something in exchange for it?
Yep. Gamesmanship, man. Simply gamesmanship. And I agree that, they're keeping things super close to the vest, though. And that is kind of the reputation that they're trying to, build and create in the nation's capital with a new front office. no one really knows what they're going to do. I am hoping the fan in me, if I'm being honest, if you were to inject me with truth serum, the fan in me is hoping. I'm hoping for chaos from the Wizards on draft night. Like I'm hoping. I want to see trades. I want to see Anthony Davis rumors. I want to see Trae Young rumors.
Caleb Wilson to the Wizards.
Oh Lord, have mercy. I would
You
be
want chaos.
unavailable. Wednesday nights, Westwood One Sports Night would be a solo endeavor for you. If the Wizards selected on Tuesday night, if the Wizards select Caleb Wilson, I'd lose my mind.
I'd love it so much.
I'd lose my mind.
Because I'd buy you a jersey if it happened. I'd buy myself a jersey. I'd be so excited for it. I don't have an NBA team. I might start rooting for the Wizards if they did that.
Dude, I'm just happy to be relevant again, bro. I'm happy to have like national media members pull up to Cap One Arena. It was some lonely nights at Cap One with me and 4 other people in a post-game presser. Like, just ludicrous stuff, bro. I'm just happy we're relevant again.
This is a nice segue because I am a diehard, lifelong Carolina Hurricanes fan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why are
last
they
decade,
relevant?
Lynnell, champions.
Champions.
Last decade, the Hurricanes missed the playoffs 9 straight years. The only national conversation that surrounded them, because small market team, was when are we going to relocate the Hurricanes? The Atlanta Thrashers relocated to Winnipeg. When's that going to... That was the only time anyone nationally would talk about the Hurricanes. And then Tom Dundon takes over as the owner, and Rod Brindamore becomes the coach, promoted from within. Promoted from the previous staff. They made a coaching change. And every year, the Hurricanes have made the playoffs under Rod and Tom Dundon's leadership. 8 straight years making the playoffs and winning a series in at least each year. And they win the Stanley Cup. And here's the part where I become obnoxious about this, Lynnell.
Mm-hmm.
So the Canes, they win it all. They're going to do it again next year.
Oh, Lord. What makes you believe? I feel like it's so hard to repeat in hockey, man. There's so much parity in the sport that to
Florida
repeat, you got to have a juggernaut of a team.
And I'm telling you this. The Carolina Hurricanes, you have 6 defensemen that you play in a game. You have 12 forwards that you play. 18 skaters.
Mm-hmm.
17 of the Hurricanes' 18 skaters are under contract for next year. And the exception is Alex Nikishin, who's a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
In other words, they're running it back.
How many?
Everybody is back. And this team's not old. Like, the core of this team's younger. And that's the part that really, really excites me.
How many
for the Hurricanes.
back-to-back Stanley Cup champions have we had over the course of the 2000s?
Florida just did it. Florida just, prior to the Hurricanes winning, Florida won back-to-back. What's crazy is
speed.
This is the part.
Size.
This is the part that's going to
youth
bother the people from up north, our friends from Canada. When we remind people that there hasn't been a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup since 1993, and Lynnell, this decade, 2020 till now, we've seen 7 champions this decade. Let me make sure I get my math right. 5 of the 7 are from the southeast part of the United States. You hear people say, oh, no one cares about hockey in Florida or in North Carolina. Tampa Bay 2020, Tampa Bay 2021, Florida 24, Florida 25, the Carolina Hurricanes 2026.
And before that,
and
you had the
Vegas
Caps.
has a win in 23. Yet the Caps won in 2018. So, just saying, Carolina.
It is. I do get why people say that, though. Because geographically speaking, like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, like, I get it.
People love the Canes.
People
here,
are
man.
passionate, though. That's what I think. I think all y'all have there professionally is the Hornets and the Canes, right?
Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers.
Well, here's the part that people miss. This is the part that people miss. You have Charlotte and you have Raleigh. Charlotte, people act like those places are right next door to each other. It's a 3-hour drive between these two places. And Charlotte's got the Panthers and Charlotte FC and got the Hornets. Raleigh's got the college teams right there, NC State, Duke, North Carolina. But the only professional team's the Hurricanes. So all those fan bases. This is why the Knicks win is similar to this. In New York, you got the Jets and you got the Giants. You got the Yankees, you got the Mets. You got split allegiances. With respect to the Nets, everybody's a Knicks fan in New York. Everybody's rooting for the Knicks. In North Carolina, it's Duke and Carolina. It's NC State. It's split allegiances. Everybody roots for the Canes. So all those fan base, that's where everybody's happy in those places. Everybody.
Cheer wine is flowing.
Have you ever had cheer wine?
No. Every time we bring it up, I say it like facetiously because I think it sounds nasty and not good. It's cherry soda.
That hurts my feelings.
Basically what it is.
Yeah, it's very
What's the
sweet.
difference between cheer wine and a Shirley Temple? No Sprite?
If you like Shirley Temples, you probably like cheer wine.
I used to like Shirley Temples because I knew it was alcoholic beverage, and as a kid, I wanted to be older than what I was, so I would order Shirley Temples, thinking that it was alcohol, but it really wasn't.
That's pretty funny.
I'm embarrassing.
When the most entertaining guest in sports talk, B-Dot, joins us, he'll take me to grammar school, and fun is guaranteed to be had. That's next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's first $500 million man. The future Hall of Famer has a new deal with the Chiefs worth over $500 million. Coming off major knee surgery, will the 3-time Super Bowl champ still have the Mahomes magic to live up to the contract? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. And the most entertaining guest in sports talk is B. Dot. He is joining us now. Dot, let's start with basketball before we get to grammar school. The reporting surrounding LeBron James suggests he's going to return to the Lakers rather than join the Warriors or a third stint in Cleveland, any of the other stuff that's been rumored. If those reports are true, how do you feel about that decision?
I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I didn't want him going to Golden State. That would have been just such a stupid move, man. That's Karl Malone going to the Lakers. Nobody wants to see LeBron James in a Golden State Warriors uniform. It was almost the same as when I saw Chris Paul in a Golden State Warriors uniform. Wasn't it sad? What is that? Like, you got to understand, man, LeBron James has been beefing with Steph Curry his entire career. Well, Steph's entire career. Why would you go and join forces with Steph? Like, LeBron has already been joked on for going and forming these super teams and all these things his whole career. I don't think he should leave out joining a super team, especially in the fact of the Golden State Warriors, because they're not going to win nothing, man. Stay in L.A., stay with Luka, try to make another run with that squad, and go out on your sword, man. Do not go to freaking Golden State. So I love it, Josh.
I didn't expect you to say that. I didn't. You called me
really?
with that.
You thought I wanted him to go team up with Steph?
I feel like everybody's so pro LeBron and Steph playing together. Like, I guess I never thought of it that way, because, you know, there are some ignorant folks, and I do mean ignorant folks, that like to joke and say, well, you know, Steph's better than LeBron all the time. I just drooled over what I just said.
Did they not soften this over, whether it was an Olympics or a wedding? Wasn't there a wedding?
I'm not sure about a wedding, but of course the Olympics bonded them. And of course, like Steph playing with LeBron on and watching Steph go crazy in real time. So you got to understand, man, like, and Josh, you know this, but I am one of the only people from North Carolina who isn't like the biggest Steph Curry fan. And many people always ask, wow, how can you be from North Carolina and not be a Steph Curry fan? And it's because he's always been the nemesis to my favorite players. CP is one of my brothers. CP and Steph went to war for years. There are memes out with CP looking like he's falling and Steph crossing him up. That friendship would never be nothing. No. LeBron and Steph, I'm a huge LeBron fan, so seeing him go to war with Steph and the years who's better and that, no, man. Like LeBron should. I pray to God he does not go team up with freaking Steph Curry. Nor do I think that Steph Curry is a better overall player than freaking LeBron Jordan, LeBron James at all.
Uh-oh, here we go. Not going to do it. B-Dot's with us here. We have don't want to have combativeness in the heart of this conversation. The NBA draft is going to be complete by the next time that we speak a week from now. So other than the established top four, we're talking about Dybantsa, Boozer, Peterson, Caleb Wilson. Who is your favorite player in this draft? Is there a guy that you're secretly rooting for a great deal just because you like watching them play?
Kingston Fleming. Man, I'm a huge Kingston Fleming fan, man. I watched him in high school. Then I watched him go get a year in Houston, man. Like, I just think Kingston is a freaking dog. And I think wherever he goes, like, I think he can have a year sort of like Harper had this year as a rookie. I think he's going to be a dog like Steph Castle. Yeah, I think he's going to be a dog like Steph Castle. Like, I think he's just going to be that type of point guard, man. Like, if you know anything about Kingston Fleming, just watching his background grow up, his story is remarkable. His drive is unmatched. And I'm just a real big Kingston Fleming fan, man. Like, I'm looking forward to him doing some work in the NBA next season for sure.
Lynnell, I can tell Lynnell's mad at that one.
Well, I feel like he's Davion Mitchell with dreads. Like, there's nothing special about him to me. I think the fact that his best trait is his on-ball defense, I think is like.
I think it's speed too. I think it's speed.
I mean, I'm about to say he's got a strong defensive skill set, bro. But Buddy can put the ball in the basket, and his IQ at PG1 is top tier. Like, and there are certain players that just have that intangible, man. And I think Kingston has that.
Here's what's interesting though: the Harper comp. Harper was kind of elevated by the fact he was on a really good team. And that, in terms, a lot more people are watching him play versus watching some of the other rookies. Like, more people are watching him play than watching VJ Edgecombe. Doesn't mean that, or watching Con Knippel for that matter.
He have Harper's impact.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying,
he can hold.
There is a team. There is a team that is picking eighth that needs a point guard. And one of these guys is going to be an Atlanta Hawk. Talking about Mikel Brown Jr., Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, or Darius Akoff. One of those four guys is going to be wearing an Atlanta Hawks uniform, and the Hawks are a pretty good basketball team, and thus there's going to be a heightened sense of exposure. In fact, when we get Rookie of the Year NBA odds, whatever point guard falls to Atlanta at 8 is going to be one to consider just because of opportunity and your supporting cast. Do you agree with that?
Kingston.
I don't know if I'm gonna pigeonhole a point guard to them. I see what you're saying though, but I think that's fascinating. I'm more stuck on what Dot said about Kingston Flemings because that's a guy that, as we've kind of already briefly mentioned here tonight, like I feel way differently than everyone else does on Flemings. I didn't like the combine measurables. I think the defense is there. I can't question that. I think he's a guy that can knock down a wide open jump shot, but can he break down defenses off the bounce? Can he force defenses to collapse? Can he be a true shot creator at the NBA level is what I worry about. I don't know if he's got the size to do it.
I think if he would have played more than 1 year at Houston, you'd have seen a lot of that. I think that even at the point guard and as a rookie, he was arguably the best player on that team. And I agree with Josh in the idea that if he goes somewhere I do disagree, Josh, that people saw more of Harper because of the playoffs, but during regular season, we definitely saw more of VJ Edgecombe than we saw of Harper. And if Harper would have been on any other team, he would have been in consideration and arguably would have won Rookie of the freaking year. But because, to your point, he's on a team with Wemby and freaking Steph Castle and those guys, you know what I mean? But again, to Kingston Flemings, I think he's going to go somewhere where he's going to be ball dominant. He's going to have the ball majority of the time, and I really think he's going to get to show his skill set, dog. Kingston Fleming is a dog.
I want Lynnell Willingham to give me his power rankings of small guards, just small people in general, because Lynnell, death taxes and Lynnell Willingham just having something for for people who are shorter in sports. Short
I
athletes.
still am. I want Jalen Brunson to get remeasured because I'm still convinced that he can't be as short as they say he is based off of what he did. This draft, though, when it comes to this lottery, and this is what we've been saying, I go back to the tournament. I think this is the deepest lottery we've seen in a long time in terms of I think you can get somebody at 15 who can come in and maybe be the second best player on a title team. Like I think there's so much upside. See, me and him have been going back and forth with this, Doc. I look at certain guys. I'm not judging, especially with a college freshman. I'm relying on what I learned and saw from him on the AAU circuit as much as I am what he did during his freshman campaign. Because I think what was the player that we were talking about? Nate Ament. Like Nate Ament played totally different at Tennessee based off of what he played in high school in terms of what he was able to show. I think Tennessee bogged his game down. AJ Dybantsa asked the best two players in the class outside of him. You said Peterson.
No, well, you had me talking about how deep the lottery is. It's just when you go to you could get the second best player on a title team at 15. That's
Nate Ament is 6'10".
I don't think Nate Ament could be that good. I think he could be pretty darn good. I don't think he could be that.
I feel like if he get Jason Tatum, like he can be Jason Tatum.
See, this is the part where
depending on what team he goes to, Josh, like he goes to the Heat or something. Who knows?
Okay, I guess SGA was taken in that range as well. Somebody queue up the Kobe Bryant SGA Charlotte Hornet draft night hats. You can find those. Those are always good fun. Okay, now it's time for Grammar School. B-Dot, speaking of Charlotte, is based in the Queen City. He's with us here. Westwood One Sports Night. That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. B-Dot is the most entertaining guest in sports talk. Would you like to quickly run down the rules of Grammar School, of which I got a passing grade last week? Just going to throw that out.
And you did. Congratulations to you, Josh. And big shout out to my bro, DJ Earn. Last Wednesday, I'm just chilling, and he's like, yo, I'm in Atlanta, and I'm listening to my bro B-Dot. So big shout out to all my AT aliens down there that love listening to Josh and Lynnell out here. But this is Grammar School. It's very simple. I have 3 urban words or phrases. I will deliver those to Josh. If he gets 2 out of 3 correct, he has a satisfactory grade today in Grammar School. He has 1 lifeline where he can ask Lynnell for assistance if he gets stalled out on one of the questions. Are you ready, Josh Graham?
Yes. What's the first word or expression?
Oh, God.
What's a big back?
A big back. Is this a noun?
Maybe an adjective. I don't know.
Definitely an adjective.
So somebody is a big back. There's a big back.
I think we need to introduce a shot clock as well, by the way.
Well,
I've been talking to the committee and the rules analysts here at Grammar School, and I think a shot clock needs to be implemented. This isn't high school basketball, Josh. You
fine. Shot clock's running out. I'm going to use my lifeline. What's a big back, Lynnell?
What? Why are you using your lifeline?
Wow.
One of the most commonly used words. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, purple.
What's it mean?
Blue. Donald Trump knows what a big back is, Josh. Probably. Are you kidding?
Well, what is a big back?
Josh, I'm not letting you use me on this.
Dude, I just said I get to choose when I use the light. There's only 3 words.
You don't know what a big back is?
This is why I used you as a lifeline.
You think I'm a big back?
I don't know what it means.
Is that what you're saying? Is that why you asked me? You should know, you big ass. You know what, Josh? That's all right. Because I pick up everything that you put down. That's why you turning the same color as that damn jersey. A big back is somebody that eats too damn much. Greedy. Could be pre-diabetic. That has nothing to do with how much you eat, by the way. It's just, it can be hereditary. I apologize.
So why is that not a noun? That's the part that confused me. That's immediately where my head went. I'm like,
Driver, are you not listening?
No, I'm saying you said it was somebody that eats too much. That sounds like a noun. Like that person is a big back, and you got offended at me saying.
What you have a tough time doing, and I understand this. You're both like a golfer. Let me finish for a second. That wasn't the end of the explanation. A big back, someone that eats too much. Their back is literally widening because of how much food they consume. They eat too much. They're greedy. I'm not going to go and mention the pre-diabetes thing again, but you get it. They could be in need of a GLP-1.
Got it. Lynnell, is that correct? Or a B-Dot?
Don't get your black friends mixed up, John.
There we go. It's the second week
But
in a row.
yes, that is correct, Josh. Correct. A big back is somebody who eats a lot. You're just big back.
Yeah. But Josh, on all seriousness,
when is the right one for me to use the lifeline?
you
Get
know
mad
big
every
back,
time
like,
I ask you.
There's certain things like, when you're single and you're around like smart women at the bar and you like play stupid and they think it's cute. This is not the bar. I just think you're just out of touch now with society that you don't know what a big back is. I can call my 90-year-old grandmother, Frances Hawkins, and say, Frances, what's a big back? And she say, now, sound like somebody eat too much. You should know what a big back is too.
What's the next word or expression?
I'm almost positive you will not get a satisfactory grade today, Josh, because that was the easiest one, and you used your lifeline.
That's embarrassing. It is.
Okay, sorry.
What's a grippy socks vacation? Grippy socks vacation.
Grippy socks.
Come on, dude. Think about it. I didn't even know it. I've never heard the term before. I swear to God, I think I just put it together in my head. Because you know what? I'm gonna shut the hell up.
All right. I'm gonna say that these terms are linked in a way. It's a grippy socks vacation is when you are going on an all-you-can-eat rampage.
Grippy socks vacation. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That's terrible, Josh.
100% incorrect.
Can I guess what a grippy sock vacation is?
Yes. What's your guess, man?
I've never heard the word before. I've never heard the phrase. There's only one place you get grippy socks. It's at the hospital. A grippy sock vacation is a stay in the hospital.
100%.
God darn it, Josh. I'm black, but it's even a black phrase, I feel like. A grippy sock. What brother you know talking about a grippy sock vacation? My aunt told me when I was growing up, when I was at Bethany College, she said, boy, you better get somebody to take you to the damn urgent care. Don't call no ambulance. It's too expensive for a grippy sock vacation. When you get traveled to when you get the escort to your grippy sock vacation, it can be a problem.
My mom has such a thick Southern accent. She calls it ambulance.
The ambulance.
The ambulance.
Yeah, ambulance.
Josh,
okay, I need to get
you've upset Lynnell tonight.
I always do.
Yeah. This word is called based. 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 What does based mean?
I think I know this one. I think based. I think based means that you're somebody that knows ball, knows a thing or two, so to speak. That you're plugged in. Like, you're based. Like you have common sense. You have common sense.
This brother used based like a Southern-based restaurant. That's basically what you just tried to do.
I thought that's what it meant.
That's the real word. This is grammar school, not Encyclopedia Britannica.
See, this is what happened to me. I overthought it last week, and the one that I got wrong.
The problem is, I don't think you're thinking at all. That's what I'm assuming.
What is the answer? You're the one that says I need a shot.
Is that your final answer, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
Okay.
Based means you're unconcerned with what other people think. You don't give a damn what people think, man. You're based. I don't give a damn what you think about this. I don't give a damn what you think about that. Based. I actually had to look that one up. That was one that I just saw. I saw in conversation. I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then I went and Googled it. And if you Google slang based, it comes right up. Unconcerned with what other people think. Go figure.
Because what my Netflix history has been and what I do after the show ends at 2:54 a.m. Eastern time, I was just watching the crack documentary on Netflix. So I thought when you said based, I was thinking free base or something. Right. I was thinking some sort of crack reference.
Yeah. Nothing to do with drugs. I would just like to say, Josh, that you did not get a passing grade today, a satisfactory grade today in grammar school. You really should have went 0 for 3. But we'll give you big back. Because Lynnell gave you that.
I think I would have gotten big back. I think the mistake I made was not using the lifeline on the second one. And if I would have gotten the first one right, I could have gotten a passing grade. It's just
agreed.
But you did not. And you failed.
There could be post-game press conferences for grammar school where
Lynnell
you know
Willingham, DC Free Press, Why are you so bad at grammar school?
Why did you say Westwood won? You got to work.
Well, that's my other job.
Oh, got it. Why am I so bad? I might. Well, we're just going to put in a better effort next time. Try to help the ball club.
I doubt it.
Try to take it one day at a time.
What if the Carolina Hurricanes and Rob Brindamore knew how you performed in this game? You think they would allow you in the building as often as they do? You think they'd be as friendly as they are to you? If they knew that you can't even...
I'd love to go to Carolina Hurricanes and try to ask them these questions.
Yeah.
Rob Brindamore be pissed.
Just to see what happens. He might be. B-Dot, we're not cursing this week because we have something to tease too. And what we're teasing too. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. What we're teasing to. Thank you for being here, by the way. I know you're out and
not
about
a problem
late tonight. Appreciate you.
You looking like, are you serious?
No, thanks for having me, man. Hey, you make sure you keep listening to this tease.
We're putting the show to bed next.
We're a month away from NFL training camps opening. The return of Patrick Mahomes, QB battles in Cleveland, Minnesota, and Atlanta. Myles Garrett joining Matthew Stafford in LA. Get ready for football season with Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Thanks to B-Dot. Thanks to our guy Mike, to Denton Day for taking care of us in all the ways that they do. Fun stuff. Lynnell Willingham.
I actually
right there.
told myself I wasn't
Josh
speaking
Graham.
for you for the rest of the show because of your horrible
Why?
ass performance in grammar school.
Oh.
I still cannot believe probably the most universal term that he gave you tonight. You used your lifeline on it, man. It's just not reading the scouting report, Josh.
I just wanted to get off to a good start.
I feel that.
And then it's confidence in, can you get one of the last two right? And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out, couldn't solve the puzzle, so to speak. Okay. We need to close things out. Before we do so, a reminder that you should be subscribed to our podcast. If you miss anything that we do, the podcast you can find, Westwood One Sports Night, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. In addition to that, we're on YouTube. That's how a lot of people consume the program. You can watch us in addition to seeing us, or in addition to listening to us. You get the idea. Westwood One Sports Night is where you can find us there. Let's close things out by putting this show to bed. All right. Need to give a congratulations to North Carolina and to Oklahoma. That is your championship series matchup in the College World Series. Now, I don't know how much college baseball you consume, Lynnell, but are you familiar with where the College World Series is held each year?
Is it in Norman?
It is not. It is not far from there, though. Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha.
Every year. Got to go to Omaha. Now, across the street from the stadium they play these games is a place called Rocco's. And at Rocco's, they've had this tradition for a while where you have the 8 schools up on a whiteboard, and when you buy a $5 Jell-O shot at Rocco's, they ask you, well, which team are you rooting for at the College World Series? Who are you representing? And next to each school, they have a count for how many Jell-O shots during the College World Series your school has accounted for.
That's damn cool. So the only question I have with this, one, a $5 Jell-O shot's a tremendously priced Jell-O shot. I feel like $3.50 is like the real range in today's economy that people would be, acceptable. How many? Who's in the leaderboard? Do we know? Is that?
I have it right here. I have the information for you.
Can I guess?
So, well,
I'm
the
take a
8
stab.
schools that are there,
Mm-hmm.
you have North Carolina, you have, as mentioned, they're facing Oklahoma, West Virginia, Troy, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. Those are your 8 schools. There is a school that's running away with it. And this school, by the way, as of the last update 3 hours ago, has more than 3 times the amount of the next closest school in Jell-O shots that have been purchased.
What do you think? Well, you know the answer, huh?
Yeah, it's one that seems you should know this one.
I probably spent a lot of time on this college's campus during my years in college. Am I barking up the correct tree?
Maybe.
Is it the Mountaineers of West
It is the
Virginia
Mountaineers.
University?
27,194 Jell-O shots.
Hold on. Can you say that
And
number
they're
again?
27,194. Now, they got off to such a hot start on the first
That's
day.
$135,000, bro. At $5 a Jell-O shot? Holy cow.
The next closest is Ole Miss at 88.96.
Like
so
blew
nobody
them out of the water.
more than 3 times the amount. So West by God, Virginia, taking care of business. The record is LSU at 64,000 a couple years ago.
That's a lot of ching-ching for old Rocco's, man. That's the first thing I thought when you said that was they're raking it the hell in, aren't they? Holy cannoli.
Yeah. So there you go. West Virginia, not in the championship series, but they did handle their business well and represent their school well at the Rocco's Jell-O Shot Challenge in Omaha, Nebraska.
A 16 seed, too. That's something.
We are the home of the College World Series. Westwood One Sports. We carry it. Championship Series won't start until Saturday. There was a really sweet moment, though, out on the baseball diamond that kind of defies belief. So, Oklahoma's facing Georgia. Oklahoma beat Georgia today to advance to that championship series. And apparently, there were brothers on both sides of this game. The Branch family. Colby Branch plays for Georgia, and his team was trailing 11-3 in the bottom of the ninth. And he's a senior. This is his final at bat in college because you're down 11-3 and you're going to get eliminated bottom of the ninth. This is your last college at bat. His brother plays for Oklahoma and plays second base or shortstop. Colby hits the home run, and in his final college at bat, it pans to his parents in the stands. They're weeping. And as he rounds second base, Colby high-fives his brother, who gives him a high five for hitting a home run against his team, his last collegiate at bat.
That's what sports are about, man. That's the type of stuff that sounds like scripted, though. Even though clearly it's not. Like, that's surreal, man. That's something they'll be telling the grandkids about. Telling the children
Pretty cool.
about. Telling the nieces, nephews.
Lynnell Willingham.
That's my name.
Tonight was fun. The next time we do this together, it'll be after the NBA draft is complete. It's right there. It's right around the corner. Appreciate you. Follow him on X at Nell_BTP. I'm at Josh Graham Show. This has been Westwood One Sports Night. Drake Toll's on the way.
This is Westwood One Sports.